Lin Asu lay on the bed, performing a habitual little review of this journey. Overall, the harvest was quite substantial. Firstly, he got up close with the lost lotus, breaking the spiritual shackles on himself. Although his spiritual power was merely at level 21, far from the worldly maximum, people must have foresight. Some locks, if they can be opened, should be unlocked early. Secondly, he had, at this stage, sabotaged the Bridge Realm by races, millennia-old plan. The Bridge Realm by races were forming alliances, charging at these great arrays generation after generation, which was indeed very risky. But with his intervention, this grand plan suffered an unprecedented setback. There were very few array masters in the Bridge Realm, and he killed over 100 of them. Besides the 83 who died under the patrol array, he killed every outer array master, leaving not one behind when he exited. Indications showed that high-level array masters were almost wiped out by him, and cultivating a new batch would not be a matter of a day or two. This was at the array master level. There was another level, even more insidious. He said through Wushan, the goal of the Ancestor Hall is to exhaust the resources of the Bridge Realm and hunt array masters. This statement is presently a wound to various clans. In the future, it will be a thorn in their sides. In the future, if anyone wants the clans to contribute money, manpower, or resources, the clans might not listen. Thirdly, he created trouble for the Litian Ancestral Hall out of thin air. The Litian Ancestral Hall is the backing behind Utopia, their true base, deeply hidden underground, and no one can do anything about them. Thus, using barbarians to check barbarians, let the Bridge Realm unite to drive them out. If the Litian Ancestral Hall is really forced to uproot from underground by this, it would be worth looking forward to. Well, after this little review, Lin Asu felt he truly had the potential to stir things up. Satisfied, he slept. This sleep, he didn't know how long it lasted. Anyway, when he woke up, the sky was still the same sky, the earth was still the same earth. In such a place, the Bridge Realm by races are evidently accustomed to it. But Lin Asu was not accustomed. All right, soon he would say goodbye to this place where day and night blurred together, this damn place. Suddenly, the door was softly knocked. Lin Asu's primordial spirit probed out. A level 9 storm surged in his heart. What's going on? How could this be? He pondered for a moment, his mind raced. The door knocked a second time. Lin Asu took a deep breath of the sulfur-laden air, touched his evidently unfamiliar face, walked to the door and opened it. Outside, a blonde beauty quietly looked at him. This woman was exactly Li Zui. There was no Li Feiyang, not even her usual inseparable Jiaor. She was alone. Her eyes were so complex. Lin Asu could wager all the silver notes on his person. She definitely already knew who he was. However, he thought he might still have a small chance. He slightly frowned. Miss, anything. The voice was absolutely unfamiliar. Li Zui directly entered the door, gently waved her hand. The outside noise completely sealed off. This was the most special feature of the underground inn. Its soundproofing effect was unparalleled. Whether the walls were made of black wood or some special animal skeleton, the sound insulation was excellent. Of course, it might also be that the noise made by these non-human creatures wreaking havoc in the rooms was so loud that, without absolute sealing, others could not rest. Li Zui leaned against the door, her gaze slowly rising. Husband. With these two words, Lin Asu's rescue failed. However, his frown deepened. Miss, are you? Li Zui gently raised her hand, placing it next to her full red lips, gently tapping. Husband, I awaken a very special Li clan talent called the Blood Wheel Eye. Under the Blood Wheel Eye, I can see anyone's bloodline very clearly with just one glance. Lin Asu's heart pounded. Blood Wheel Eye. Bloodline. In the outside world, skills that could see bloodlines might not be particularly important, as everyone's bloodline was that of ordinary people. But in the Bridge Realm by races, this kind of skill was at a nuclear weapon level, especially when faced with himself. In the entire Bridge Realm, besides himself, there was probably not a single legitimate human clan member. His human bloodline was like a beacon among countless sparks. Husband, could you restore your original appearance? Li Zui asked. This face isn't as good-looking as your true one. Lin Asu took a deep breath and gave up struggling. His face slowly began to change, the dashing and suave young man from before gradually reappearing. Li Zui quietly watched this familiar face, gently extending her hand, hugging his waist, her cheek slowly pressing against his chest. "Can you really see my bloodline?" Lin Ziasu asked. "Yes," Li Zui replied. "In Wangchuan Valley, the first time I saw you, I knew you were not a Li Tian clan member but a human clan member. Knowing I am of the human clan, you still brought me back to Li Shen Mountain. Knowing you are of the human clan, that's exactly why I brought you back to Li Shen Mountain. Why? Because I've grown up, I've come of age, and my ultimate dream is to find a legitimate human clan husband and have a new generation of Li Tian who can traverse both worlds." Li Zui chuckled. "Living in the bridge realm, you should know this dream is actually a fantasy, so once encountered, I couldn't easily let it go. Ultimate dream: to birth a new generation of Li Tian." The knot in Lin Ziasu's heart, suspended for so long, was finally untied today. He had always been wondering what exactly about him attracted her, prompting her to make such a significant change, abandoning her usual personality just to leave a good impression on him. At first, his guesses were just mundane speculations, like maybe he was a bit handsome, he had saved her life, or perhaps during the rescue, their skin had touched. But now the answer was revealed. None of these. The fundamental reason was simply that he was of the human clan. His human clan identity was his biggest secret. No matter who he was in front of, he didn't dare to reveal it even slightly. Who knew that it was exactly this human clan identity that made this Li clan's favored daughter strive to bring him into the Li clan's gates. The ultimate goal was to have a child with him. Elsewhere, this would be utter nonsense. However, in this special bridge realm, it might not be. In her entire life, she could not leave the bridge realm. She could not see the apricot blossom rain. She could not feel the willow breeze. She could not witness the lone smoke beyond the frontier. She could not watch the sunrise, sunset, and the falling stars. In her brother's books, she saw the outside world, yet in her entire life she would never see this world. Thus, she hoped to give birth to a child, to see the world on her behalf. Is this nonsense? Even if it truly was nonsense, when she seriously spoke of this nonsense, it clearly carried a positive and motivational energy. Lin Ziasu lightly exhaled. "You should know, this dream of yours goes against the mainstream of the bridge realm." Li Zui smiled faintly. "Husband, up until now, haven't you noticed? I, Li Zui, have always been an anomaly in the bridge realm. Never have I thought about walking with the mainstream." Lin Ziasu was stunned. "In Qingwan, you promised me you would make your own choice after I clearly saw all of you. Now, you have fulfilled your promise, you've let me see a real you, and I should make my choice." Li Zui gently waved her hand, and her outer garment floated up, revealing a wondrous sight rarely seen in the heavens and earth. The wind blew, though it swirled and tangled, it still wove through valleys and mountains, rippling a pool of spring water. The rain came, early on with spring tides gently surging, later with mountain floods exiting the valley. The clouds drifted past, floating in Li Zui's sea of consciousness, and she forgot who she was. Flowers bloomed on Li Zui's cherry lips. After the clouds and rain, flowers bloomed in a dim room. Li Zui's eyelashes fluttered lightly, her beautiful eyes slowly opened, filled with endless surprise, endless tenderness, and the fragrant breath she exhaled was equally captivating. Husband. The word husband was born out of a ruse to confuse the enemy, but today, it finally returned to its original meaning. The voice was like a whisper, a contented whisper. "Zui, will you regret today's choice in the future?" Lin Ziasu gently brushed away her disheveled golden hair on her forehead. "I will never regret it," Li Zui said, "but I am a little scared." "Scared of what?" "I'm afraid. I'm afraid I won't bear to let you leave. I'm afraid I'll do everything to make you stay," Li Zui said softly. "So husband, leave now, do not look back." "I am really leaving." "Go." Li Zui loosened her grip on him gently, bit by bit, inch by inch. Lin Ziasu left the bed, dressed, walked to the door, looked back, and saw Li Zui sitting on the bed watching him. Her look finally bore a sadness never before seen. Lin Ziasu stepped back. He held her up, his lips pressed against hers, tight, very tight. Li Zui's hands turned and held him, also tight, very tight. Finally, she gently separated her lips from his, gazing at his eyes foolishly. "Husband, don't make me any promises before you leave, don't. Because the road ahead, we actually can't see it. I don't want you to carry a burden in your heart. I don't want it." Lin Ziasu slowly let go, slowly turned around, slowly walked out of the room and didn't look back. Leaving the city, climbing the mountain, he still looked back. As if telepathic, he immediately found the highest point of the city wall. He saw her, her golden hair flowing, standing on the city wall, gently waving. Smiling, Linzayasu also smiled at her. This smile seemed to erase all the sadness of their parting and left a beautiful imprint. He slowly turned back, ascending step by step. The mountain path spiraled. Linzayasu did not see the old Zhang he met when he came. He looked at the stone wall where he had appeared and vanished, with a small question mark inside. At the time he met old Zhang, he didn't feel anything. There were many strange species underground. The looks of one like old Zhang was not particularly surprising. At least it had a human shape, didn't it? However, after reading too many books in Qingwan, talking to Li Feiyang about too many topics, he learned something. The species resembling old Zhang was called the Ru clan. The Ru clan did not exist in the Bridge realm. That was a species of the Earth core world, an incredibly powerful species. Why would a species that doesn't exist in the Bridge realm be the first person he encountered when entering it? There must be many mysteries of the underground beneath. Linzayasu stepped into the mountain god temple. Two Litian clan members raised their eyes, staring at him like two wild wolves. "Boy, what are you doing here?" The voice was sinister, steady. Linzayasu said, "Just passing through." "Passing through. First do a test, then explain your origins and destination." "Damn, another couple of thorough workers." Linzayasu raised his hand, zap. Chapter 439. Chapter 439. The Disappearance of Ding Dong. The sword light swept past, and two headless corpses were thrown into the magma pool below, turning into two wisps of smoke. Linzayasu walked to the entrance of the cave in front, turned back, and invoked the heavenly Tao Wisdom Eye for time-space reversal. The left envoy and Qing Ru did not appear. After entering the Bridge realm that day, they did not turn back. Consider yourself lucky. Linzayasu entered the cave, hurried along, walking through the underground maze for half an hour. Finally, an ancient bronze gate appeared in front. Linzayasu raised a hand, and the 5 elements sword in his palm struck out 5 times, representing metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. The 5 elements gate opened. He stepped out from the door. Yes, this was another gain from his entrance into the underworld. He had completed the 5 elements. The sword could be used as an array pen. He had just used this technique to trick over 100 array masters to death, which was worth mentioning. As he stepped into the basement of the Divine Temple, he had a premonition that he would encounter the top tier of the Divine Temple. However, the place was empty. The 5 elements gate slowly closed behind him. A team of soldiers came running from the front, dressed in military uniforms, with a flying eagle insignia on their armbands. "Who are you? Get down," a soldier shouted in Arabic. Linzayasu spun around and disappeared from where he stood. The next moment, he caught a lone soldier in the corridor, stripped him of his clothes, threw the soldier into a dark room and became a member of this army, left the chamber, walked out of the passage and into the sunlight. He took a deep breath, feeling a bit sorry for his lungs. What had he been breathing these past few months? Sulfur gas, volcanic ash, the aura of death, the aura of yin, none of it normal air. Now he was finally free. He could walk freely in the sunlight. He also figured out the current situation. This army was another armed force from the Dirta country, called the Flying Eagle Armed. On July 3rd, they launched an attack and occupied the Divine Temple. The situation was quite interesting. The Divine Temple used the Earthfall Beast army to destroy Mengu, and Flying Eagle launched an attack and took over the Divine Temple. The Middle East is like a revolving lantern. Fine, the trip to the Middle East is over, time to go home. Linzayasu drove a military vehicle, speeding out of the sight of the Divine Temple, even avoiding checkpoints along the way. Upon reaching the Dirta capital, he slipped into a street, and in the next moment, transformed into an ordinary Daxia merchant disguise. Then he went to the airport, entered a bathroom, and knocked out a middle-aged man who was in there. Half an hour later, he boarded a plane heading to Jiangcheng. The fact proved that for someone with his means, if he loosened his moral constraints slightly, traveling around the world would indeed be like playing a game. Upon arriving in Jiangcheng, Linzayasu exited the airport, changed clothes, and restored his appearance. He was finally back. He retrieved the phone from the secret realm space, turned it on. Date August 4th. He entered the Middle East on May 13th. Entered the underworld on May 19th. 2.5 months. What events occurred in the outside world? The phone turned on, and messages came in. The topmost ones were the most recent. Yixiang, brother, I've completed the Jiangcheng task and am coming home. Where are you? The time was 3 days ago. Scrolling further, there were several more messages, starting with a nonchalant tone and becoming increasingly urgent, filled with deep concern in every word. Chang Yi, we went to the place you mentioned and couldn't find you. Where are you? Time was a month ago. Only one message, but it doesn't mean she wasn't worried, just that her status was different, preventing her from saying much through messages. She didn't even mention the divine temple, only saying that place. Even Ryulan, who usually never bothers him during missions, sent a message. Little Sue, you've been gone too long this time. Is something wrong? The time was half a month ago. Ding Ryushui called. She directly called and 17 times. In addition, his parents also called several times. After 2.5 months underground, there were still a bunch of people calling. Lin Zaiasu suddenly felt, perhaps he'd been a bit too much. Disappearing for 2.5 months, he could imagine the anxiety behind each message and call from those who cared about him. For Chang Yi, Lin Zaiasu directly sent a message. Hey, I'm back alive and kicking, all 3 legs intact. To Yixiang, he made a call. The call connected quickly, and Yixiang's voice came through, very excited. Brother. Little darling, you're home. Been home for 2 days, thinking every day about why my brother is missing. Can't eat well, can't sleep well. Yixiang seemed to be acting coy. Then quickly have a good meal and a sound sleep. I want to talk to brother, Yixiang said. The Life Soul Gu case is over, so I withdrew. Originally, I thought I'd meet brother when leaving Jiangcheng, but brother forgot his sister. A soft voice came from the other side. Who is it? It was her mother's voice, spoken in Miao language. Yixiang said, Little Sue. Quickly tell him to come over. I've prepared lots of small river fish and small river shrimp. Yixiang giggled. Brother, did you hear that? I heard your mom prepared a bunch of small river fish and shrimp. I'll come next time to eat them all. Then hurry over, let me tell you. Mom won't keep meat if you're late. The fish and shrimp will definitely smell. They chatted happily, with her mom occasionally chiming in with a few words. This is the change in the Miao village. Now Yixiang is all lovey-dovey with her brother, no longer avoiding their mother. The mother urged him to hurry over, actually with another purpose in mind, though it's hard to say it out loud, to break the love spell on him. She put a love spell on Lin Zaiasu. The love spell is quite magical. An antidote must be taken within a year, or else the love spell kicks in. So she's worried that her son-in-law might be away for a year, which would be a disaster. Of course, she doesn't know that the time restriction she set means nothing to Lin Zaiasu. The spell is long gone. After chatting with Yixiang for an hour, Yixiang reluctantly hung up the phone, her face glowing as she went to cook. Lin Zaiasu made a call to Ding Ryushui. Ding Ryushui reacted intensely. You little rascal, where the hell have you been? Hurry and get over here, my mom is going crazy. What's the situation? Don't get it wrong, it's not because she misses her son-in-law, but because of my brother. This time my brother is probably in real trouble. He's been missing, and even after reporting to the police, there's no progress. The captain of the criminal investigation team, Shen Yinchuan, is just useless. Get here fast and help out. You want money, I'll give you $1 billion. You want people, I'll let you have them as far as the thigh. Lin Zaiasu was stunned. The price was sky high. $1 billion for money, as far as the thigh for people. The only aim was to help the Ding family find that super playboy, Ding Dong. What should he do about this? Only he knew that Ding Dong's disappearance was essentially not a disappearance, nor was it what the Ding family imagined, that he had gone for a romantic escapade with some woman. He was on serious business. He had been picked up by Qianlong. But can he say this? He could only give a vague answer. Don't worry, I'll contact Chief Shen first, get a grasp of the situation before making any move. Okay, Ding Ryushui hung up the call immediately. Lin Zaiasu hesitated for a moment, picked up the phone, and called Shen Yinchuan. Shen Yinchuan didn't delay a second in answering. Where are you? Walking on Jiangcheng Street. Name a place, find a bench to sit down, I'll come look for you. About 10 minutes later, a car stopped in front of Lin Zaiasu. Shen Yinchuan personally drove his car. The window rolled down, his head tilted slightly, signaling for Lin Zaiasu to get in. Lin Zaiasu got into the passenger seat, the window closed. Brother, you really need to help this time. Your cheap mother-in-law is in my office daily, more punctual than me at work. Her son has been missing for over 2 months. I've tried everything, I'm really out of options. So, you need to use that ancestral detective divine skill you once mentioned to help out your old brother this time, said Shen Yinchuan. What you once mentioned. If I remember correctly, you said, you wouldn't trouble me because of my detective skills, you even swore on your son's marriage. Shen Yinchuan had said, if I, because of your detective skills, cause you not to sleep day or night, let my son never find a wife. Shen Yinchuan said, I don't have a son, just a daughter. Whether my son finds a wife or not, how's that my concern? Damn, you're cheating. Shen Yinchuan said, I admit it even if it's cheating. You don't know this matter is very significant. Even Mayor, he is anxious. He believes it's an adversarial force targeting Ding Lijiang. Lin Ziasu leaned his head back on the seat, bumping it lightly. Shen Yinchuan said, I've brought all the documents, I'll show them to you now. No need, Lin Ziasu said. I know where he is, but Chief Shen I really can't say. Shen Yinchuan was visibly shaken. Don't worry, just leave it be, Lin Ziasu said. You tell that cheap mother-in-law, I guarantee that this New Year's Eve, my cheap brother-in-law will come back to have the holiday dinner with her. You guarantee? I guarantee. Can I tell her, you guarantee? Lin Ziasu patted his head. All right, you tell her, I guarantee. If there's any unexpected situation, I'll stand in for the son-in-law. Isn't a son-in-law already half a son? Even if it's just a half-son, doesn't he count more than a playboy? My God, do you really know, or are you pretending to know? Shen Yinchuan wanted to slap his forehead. Real or fake, can't you, a criminal investigation team captain, tell the difference? Lin Ziasu shot him a sideways glance. Shen Yinchuan nodded, his gaze slowly rising. Does this information really come from up above? Lin Ziasu said, stop asking. In these times of great competition, everyone has their place, you me him, all the same. Shen Yinchuan's gaze flickered, really not asking anymore. He truly understood. Tell me, how's the progress on the life soul goo? As for this matter, Shen Yinchuan actually only had a rough idea. The part he knew came from his identity, as the Jiangcheng Criminal Investigation Team Captain. The part he didn't know was because he's not Qianlong. The Life Soul Gu major case was led by Qianlong. Jiangcheng's Changsheng group was the most vital pivot point, probably the reason Mayor He Gaisheng is so sensitive about the Ding family's son's disappearance. He spoke about a lot. The key to breaking the Life Soul Gu case was establishing a treatment center in the Changsheng group. A fierce game surrounding this treatment center was fought for over 3 months. The preliminary result is out now. The nine-headed snake has suffered heavy losses. In Daxia, their layout has been almost completely shaken. The losses in personnel are in tens of thousands. Daxia also suffered huge losses, the hardest hit area being the scientific research line. However, this loss has to be seen from two sides. Purely from a personnel loss perspective, it's a loss. But these personnel had been infiltrated and defected. Their capture is a great success in rooting out treachery, isn't it? Jiangcheng was in turmoil, but now peace has been restored. Quite a few people have been arrested. Interrogations are ongoing. This is all he knew. From his focus points, Shen Yinchuan also caught some things baffling to him. Brother, have you been on a honeymoon in Java Island these last few months? How come some old guys playing chess on the street know things you do? Lin Ziasu said, what if I told you I was underground for 2.5 months, would you believe it? Chapter 440. Chapter 440. The Holy Lotus emerges, clouds and wind transform. Shen Yinchuan burst into laughter. With your flamboyant style, maybe a lot of beauties want to kill you. With your past deeds, the nine-headed snake might really want to bury you underground. But as you said, I just don't believe it. All right, you guessed right. I really went on a honeymoon to Java Island. Lin Ziasu rolled his eyes. Take me to the station, I want to go home. What station? I'll drive you directly back to Fengcheng. Lin Ziasu was surprised. Aren't you busy as a bee? How come you have time to take me? For sorting out the problem for me today, it's worth a ride. Shen Yinchuan turned the steering wheel and veered onto the highway leading to Fengcheng. Shen Yinchuan drove fast all the way and directly dropped Lin Ziasu off at the entrance of the detective agency. Through the glass floor-ceiling window, there were 3 beauties inside. Miao Ruolan, Zhou Zai, and a third, Zhou Mei in her police uniform. "Want to come in and sit?" asked Lin Ziasu. Nah, as you said, I'm actually busy as a top. Shen Yinchuan said, just a little gossip among the three inside. Which one have you hooked, or is it all of them? Damn, Lin Ziasu replied with an exclamation. There's also one in a police uniform in there. Don't you have any faith in your colleagues? Is lacking faith in colleagues unusual? I don't even have faith in my own leader, Shen Yinchuan said. Do you know who I'm talking about? I've seen 4 of them, all included. Lin Ziasu gave him a look, speechless. He got out of the car, closed the door, and lightly waved a hand behind his head. Shen Yinchuan's car started, and he vanished. Lin Ziasu entered the detective agency. Miao Ruolan almost dropped the teacup from her hands when she saw him. A little over half a month ago, unusual for her, she had sent him a message because he had been away from home for too long, and she was worried. After sending the message, she checked her phone 100 times a day. Every time it made her anxiety peak. Today all the worries vanished. He was back. His face was calm and breezy, with a suave handsomeness, really looking like he had been on vacation in some tourist area for months. Ha, Josei sprang up. Brother Lin, did you see the police? We were about to file a missing person report for you. The police took it seriously and were personally handling the case. Nonsense, Lin Ziasu said. Jo Mei is the director of the Tashan police station. Only when wild men disappear on Tashan are they looking for her. You've been gone for months, wilder than a wild man. The whole detective agency came alive. The 3 women asked about his whereabouts, and Lin Ziasu scratched his head. I'll be honest, I found a young girl and went to Java Island for a honeymoon. Jo Mei snorted disdainfully. Java Island, honeymoon. I bet you don't even know where Java Island is. That dump for a honeymoon. Fine, if you won't say, I won't bother asking. Tomorrow I'll directly ask Ruolan. She walked out and returned to her Tashan. She left and the door closed. Josei glanced around outside. Brother Lin, we received another 250. This 250 really isn't an insult, even though it looks a lot like one. But it really is. It's the reward for the Middle East trip. The Middle East trip, bringing 7 steps back to the country. The difficulty level of this task was sky high, and the reward could only cap. The cap was 5 million. 3 people went. Hell, that's not supposed to be 2.5 million. It should be 1.67 million with a remainder. Why is it 2.5 million? Did Qianlong really ignore that little minx Xinyu, really not treating her as a person? With a sigh, Lin Ziasu took the tea Miao Ruolan handed him. Went abroad once, did a little something for 101, but seriously, 3 months and only made 2.5 million, isn't that a bit little? Little? My dear brother Lin, are you trying to drive all entrepreneurs crazy? Someone once calculated, in a lifetime, burying yourself in work, only a small number of people can end up saving 2 million. Lin Ziasu returned to Fengcheng, with no wind, no waves. But in the bridge realm, endless storms had already swept to the Li Tian Ancestral Hall. Within the Ancestral Hall, a secluded hall. Dim lights in the room, the glow brought by the distant magma waterfall. 2 people sat facing each other, a chessboard in front of them. These 2 were Left Envoy and Qing Ru. Left Envoy held the white pieces. The white piece hovered in midair. His gaze shot towards the sky outside the window, where 3-legged red crows came and went, several times more than usual. Left Envoy, what do you think of the abyssal affair? Qing Ru lifted the teacup beside him. A bizarre situation, but perhaps it gives us an opportunity. The Left Envoy flicked the white piece in his hand. It fell into the chess box. Playing chess itself, not chess, but a leisure. As they entered conversation, the game ceased to matter. A bizarre situation, I understand, Qing Ru said. We have thoroughly analyzed that Li Qing. This matter doesn't match her past disposition at all, but you say it's an opportunity. The Left Envoy smiled gently. Entered the Ancestral Hall 2 months or so. What we seek is vast and indefinite, however. After this change in the bridge realm, all races target the Ancestral Hall. The Ancestral Hall must consider the external layout as well, and the external layout cannot do without the Holy Lotus. Qing Ru's eyes brightened. They've been in the Ancestral Hall for so long, their request long made. But the Ancestor Hall Elder Council never responded directly. This showed the matter to the Ancestral Hall was extremely difficult to decide. The Ancestral Hall needs outside connections, outside foundations. However, the Holy Lotus is no small matter. The Ancestor Lotus not leaving the mountain has always been an iron rule of the Ancestral Hall. Yet now the situation has drastically changed. The ancestral hall's array master made such a big deal in the abyssal, trapping and killing over 100 clans array masters, bringing the Bridge Realm's millennium endeavors to an unprecedented crisis. How could those clans let it go? A strong counterattack against the Ancestor Hall has already begun. The bases of the Ancestor Hall in cities have been destroyed one after another, and the people of the Ancestor Hall are being killed wherever they go. Moreover, the bi-clan alliance is showing intentions to target the Ancestor Hall. The strength of the Ancestor Hall is indeed formidable, and they do possess many artifacts. However, no matter how strong, they cannot surpass the united bi-clan. The more artifacts they have, the less likely this turmoil will have an end. Extinction of tribes and seizure of treasures are the most common occurrences in this chaotic realm. Under the guise of a righteous cause and driven by the hatred of various clans, it would be strange if people didn't act. Based on this, the Ancestor Hall must make a decision. The best plan is to relocate the mountain gate to Wangduan Mountain, where Flame City is located. With Wangduan Mountain backed by the outside world, once the Ancestor Hall occupies it, they can both attack and defend. If they encounter a powerful enemy, they can enter the human clan world through that passage. Once they enter the human clan world, no other clans except the Lietian clan dare to advance even an inch. To turn this passage into a vital lifeline within the clan, the Dirta country outside must use the Holy Lotus for layout. This is the opportunity the left envoy spoke of. The urgency of the situation compels action. Will you not change the age-old tradition of the Holy Lotus not leaving the mountain at this crucial moment concerning the survival of the Ancestor Hall? A Lietian clan member flashed in from outside, slightly bowing. Left envoy, the Great Elder requests your presence. The left envoy stood up. Qing Ru, pack up. We will first meet the Great Elder and then leave. Yes. The two left the side hall where they had lived for more than 2 months and headed to the Elder Meeting Hall. In the hall, the Great Elder slowly turned around. What you ask can be granted. However, the Holy Lotus can only be controlled by the Holy Envoy. Half an hour later, a 3-legged red crow soared into the sky with 5 people on its back. 3 Holy Envoys, plus the left envoy and Qing Ru. These 3 Holy Envoys are the 3rd Elder, the 7th Elder, and the 9th Elder. All hold high positions of power, and their cultivation is profound. The 3rd Elder is at a half-step 4th realm cultivation. The 7th Elder and 9th Elder are both at the peak of 3rd realm cultivation. Converted to external cultivation levels, these are approximately the peeping heaven high realm, of the same battle strength as Nirvana. The 3rd Elder is even stronger than the god-shocking Nirvana. The 3-legged red crow swept across the sky in an instant, flying 1,000 miles, and landed on Wangduan Mountain. Inside the mountain god temple, it was very quiet. The 3rd Elder frowned slightly. What's going on? Didn't we already send people over? Where are they? The 7th Elder's gaze swept around the mountain god temple. There are signs of life, indicating they should have already arrived, but the people are gone. The 2 in front also disappeared more than 2 months ago. The 9th Elder said, could someone really have targeted the mountain god temple? The left envoy's brow furrowed slightly, also somewhat puzzled. The mountain god temple is not an important site of the Lietian Ancestral Hall, but merely a checkpoint for inspecting people going in and out. The inspection was originally just a formality because the only people who could enter were Lietian clan members. Inspection or not made no difference. Who has a reason to kill inspection personnel? Only someone whose identity cannot withstand scrutiny. Someone whose identity cannot withstand scrutiny but can still pass. There's only one type of person, legitimate human clansman. A figure suddenly appeared in his mind. This person is Lin Zaiasu. After the Dai Luo army annihilated the Menggu army, Lin Zaiasu disappeared. Could he have truly come in? If he really did, then the elders of the Divine Temple are incompetent, doesn't quite capture it. Letting a living person enter, what kind of defense is that? Or did some turmoil occur at the Divine Temple? 3 Holy Envoys, let's get over there quickly. Maybe something really happened at the Divine Temple, left envoy said. Let's go. The 5 stepped into the underground passage and quickly arrived before the bronze gate, 5 strange tokens in hand, each representing gold, wood, water, fire, and earth. The 5 elements gate opened silently. The 5 entered the chamber. As soon as the chamber door opened, the lights suddenly flared up. Two long rows of soldiers, all holding assault rifles, pointed their guns at the five. Hands up, lie down. The left envoy's heart skipped a beat. The Flying Eagle Army. Something indeed happened at the Divine Temple. He had been gone for 2.5 months, and the Divine Temple had already fallen. Kill, the third elder spat out a word. Beside him, the seventh elder and ninth elder suddenly disappeared on the spot. In the next moment, behind the two groups of soldiers, a giant beast appeared. As its claws flashed coldly, formation and army disintegrated. In moments, blood flowed like a river. The passage alarms blared. Someone shouted loudly. Someone else is coming out. There's truly a Taoist path leading to the underground world here. Stop them. Report to the general. Chaos erupted outside. The left envoy's heart abruptly skipped a beat. Again, truly. Chapter 441. Chapter 441. The mysterious Qing Ru. Qing Ru frowned. What did the left envoy think of? Someone tailed us into the bridge realm and exited earlier than we did. Qing Ru exclaimed, could it be him? If someone really did that besides him, I can't think of anyone else. The person they were talking about was Lin Ziasu. At the mountain god temple outside, the left envoy, through the mysterious disappearance of two groups of guards, was vaguely implanted with the figure of Lin Ziasu, and now this silhouette seemed to have materialized. Because a Flying Eagle Army officer mentioned a keyword, again. Again, what does it imply? It indicates he was not the first batch of people to cross the boundary under the Flying Eagle Army's nose. Qing Ru pondered, if it really is him, could the abyssal matter also be related to him? The left envoy was deeply shaken. This was something he hadn't considered. With Qing Ru's reminder, he seemed to suddenly see a possibility. What Li Qing did was filled with mystery. Theoretically, Li Qing isn't the type to do such things. Because her identity is too special, she is the wife of the clan leader of the Li Tian clan of the Earth's surface. She is the mother of the shocking god. She would never do things for the human clan. Yet she did. Completely unreasonable actions, if looked at from another perspective, seem to have logic, which is Lin Ziasu's style, that if he were behind the changes in the abyssal, it would truly make sense. It aligns with that brat's rotten tendencies. It aligns with his instinct as a troublemaker. It also aligns with his stealthy, masterful skills in disguise and transformation. Enough analysis, go, the ninth elder shouted abruptly. Qing Ru and the left envoy exchanged glances and hit the road with them. In this final look, the two seemed to understand each other as well. The elders of the Ancestor Hall, each of them with their eyes above their heads. They truly see themselves as ancestors. Such holy envoys, wielding the holy lotus, are quite nauseating. Once they exit the bridge realm and step into the sunlight, would the divine temple belong to them or to the Ancestor Hall? Did the Ancestor Hall really take the opportunity to truly seize the divine temple and control Utopia? It certainly seemed like it. Along the path, they left nothing but carnage. Ordinary soldiers, how could they be a match for experts of this level? However, when they emerged from the basement to the surface, the left envoy was startled by the sight before him. Dozens of tanks, with cannon muzzles aimed directly at them. Thousands of soldiers, holding either assault rifles or rocket launchers. In the air, helicopters. No matter how powerful the combat prowess, facing this well-prepared army, anyone would be alarmed. This is the oppressive feeling of the military, and also the oppressive feeling of hot weapons. However, the third elder suddenly raised his hand. In his palm, a green wood box. The box suddenly opened, enveloping the entire space in bizarre and dazzling light. The left envoy's heart pounded in his chest. He finally witnessed the majesty of the Holy Lotus. With the opening of the Holy Lotus, an illusion realm formed. Not only was it an unknown and ignorant illusion realm, but it could also guide the hearts of people. Gunshots rang out. But they were not shot at them. They were shot at the Flying Eagle Army itself. With a single cannon shot, the command vehicle was destroyed. A missile fired from a helicopter shot at another helicopter. Everyone at this moment went insane, attacking their comrades fiercely. Suddenly, the scene changed abruptly. A large troop of earthfall beasts surged from the temple behind, madly charging toward the left envoy and his group. The left envoy was taken aback. Earthfall beasts. Hold them off. The third elder's face also changed. His voice turned hoarse. Because although his illusion realm was formidable, it was also targeted, having miraculous effects against an organized and disciplined army, having effects on humans, but far less effective against the Earthfall Beast army. The Earthfall Beast army wouldn't care what was ahead of them. They would trample over everything, as they would not die even if they fell into the abyss. This brute force combat method is the archenemy of illusion realms. If they crushed through, even if these 5 were top experts, they would be ground into mincemeat under the claws of the Earthfall army. Why did the Earthfall beasts mobilize? Did an elder just die? And shouldn't the Earthfall beasts be in eternal slumber underground? The left envoy once again felt a sense of unease. As a wise person, the last thing to fear is an ominous premonition, because it had been proven countless times that whenever he felt uneasy, nothing good ever happened. The 7th and 9th elders combined forces to resist the Earthfall Beast army's assault on the 3rd elder, because the 3rd elder was currently activating the Holy Lotus power to block the Flying Eagle army, unable to endure the onslaught of the Earthfall Beast horde. Their combat prowess was exceptionally strong, and their fighting spirit was tremendously resilient. With a single strike, they forcibly broke through the forefront of the Earthfall Beast army charging at them. However, the 7th elder cried out in shock, "Illusion realm!" The 9th elder also shouted, "The Earthfall beasts are also an illusion realm." The left envoy's heart skipped a beat. The Earthfall beasts were an illusion too. This illusion was not arranged by the 3rd elder. Besides their group, there was a 3rd party. Suddenly his gaze fell, his heart almost stopping from fear. The green wood box in the 3rd elder's hand was gone. The 3rd elder's expression turned abnormal, as if he suddenly lost consciousness. On the perimeter, the soldiers' eyes became clear. A general shouted, "There, fire at will." All the soldiers turned their guns and cannons toward the mountain top, where the left envoy and his group were. "Damn it, retreat," the 7th elder shouted. With a swift movement, 3 figures leapt down the hillside. Whiz, whiz, whiz. Countless bullets passed through the 3rd elder on the hillside, and even though he was a half-step 4th realm elder, he didn't make any movement, allowing the bullets to pierce through his body. The left envoy, still tumbling in midair, caught this scene from the corner of his eye and was bewildered. Boom! A shell struck the mountain top accurately, blasting the 3rd elder into fragments, his head flying far away. The 7th elder landed awkwardly, nearly stumbling. The 9th elder's eyes widened, following the arc of the flying head in shock. "No, this is impossible," the 7th elder roared. How could the 3rd elder be hit by ordinary warrior bullets? How could he die on such a low-dimensional battlefield? His combat power, half-step 4th realm. In his hand, he possessed the Ancestor Hall's treasured moon lotus. He should have been able to walk, unchallenged, anywhere under the heavens. The left envoy's face turned pale. Before this round of attacks, the Holy Lotus in 3rd elder's hands was gone, and his demeanor was off, as if his consciousness had been erased. "What?" The 7th elder fixed his sharp eyes on the left envoy. The left envoy said, "Perhaps we've fallen into someone's trap. The 3rd elder used the moon lotus to subdue the enemy, but someone, using the moon lotus, created an illusion, feigning an attack by the Dai Luo army, distracting us. Taking advantage of the 3rd elder's full concentration, they seized the moon lotus and erased his consciousness." The 7th elder responded, "Impossible. Beside the 3rd elder there were only the 4 of us." His voice suddenly cut off. The 9th elder's eyes widened. "Where is the person beside you?" The left envoy closed his eyes slightly. "Qingru, I don't know. I don't know where Qingru has gone." Boom! A shell landed on the hillside beneath their feet. The sky darkened with countless shells attacking simultaneously. "Let us leave first," the left envoy shouted. The 3 figures transformed into the form of fierce beasts in unison and in a flash darted into the forest behind them. Shells rained from above, soldiers filled the sky, but in the blink of an eye they crossed the mountain ridge, escaping 10 miles away. Another mountain ridge loomed ahead. The left envoy raised his hand, and a communication device appeared in his palm. Contact. The person he contacted was the Great Elder of the Divine Temple. The call connected quickly and the Great Elder's voice came through, extremely urgent but very soft. "Left envoy, is Qingru by your side?" The left envoy's heart raced. "Why do you ask, Great Elder?" "Qingru is already dead. His remains were found in a secret chamber 2 months ago. The person with you is not Qingru. The left envoy's hand trembled slightly. The words that followed from the great elder fell on deaf ears. Qingru, dead long ago. His remains concealed in a secret chamber. Discovered 2 months ago, after they had already entered the bridge realm. The person by his side was never Qingru. He, the left envoy, a wise man of the clan, advisor of the divine temple, adept in seeing through people and hearts, rarely erring, yet he never saw through the Qingru who often played chess with him, never showing ordinary intelligence. In the past 3 months, Qingru always played the role of a follower. No matter what the left envoy said, it was always yes or okay. No good advice, never displayed extraordinary intelligence, just a competent follower. But today, everything changed. Emerging from the bridge realm, facing the flying eagle army. The third elder had no choice but to use the moon lotus. The power of the moon lotus, overwhelming. Once the moon lotus was unleashed, even the formidable flying eagle army was just pawns in their game. It seemed they were about to capture this army, a force for the divine temple's restoration. Unexpectedly, Qingru took advantage of the opportunity. He too borrowed the power of the moon lotus, creating another illusion, an army of Dai Luo beasts, distracting the seventh elder and the ninth elder. He then seized the opportunity to erase the third elder's consciousness and took the moon lotus. Once the moon lotus was seized, the moon lotus illusion shattered. The flying eagle army broke free, pouncing on the three of them while Qingru, seizing the moment, fled swiftly. This was the entire content of Qingru's strategy. He killed Qingru, disguised as Qingru, infiltrating the left envoy's side, all for the moon lotus. Who is this person, really? The moon lotus left Ancestor Mountain, encountering numerous obstacles, almost a result of Lin Ziasu's meticulous maneuvers step by step. However, the ever-changing situation. The final result was that the mysterious man disguised as Qingru easily plucked the fruit, considering the left envoy, the divine temple, the ancestor hall, even the clever Lin Ziasu, as mere pawns. The real orchestrator of the board was him. The truly significant victory belonged to him alone. The Middle East full of intrigue. Autumn in Fengcheng, as serene as ever. Lin Ziasu returned to Fengcheng, fed Miao Ruolan that night, and leisurely went home the next day. After 2.5 months underground, there were still those who worried. The concern from over at Chang Yi was responded to with a message. The worries from Yixiang warranted a lengthy phone call. Ding Ruishui's concerns, mainly about her brother, didn't require much interpretation. Miao Ruolan's concerns required no messages or calls. Delivering her back and spending some intimate time was sufficient. The parental concerns also needed no phone response, just directly going home. Crossing Tashan Lake, his gaze fell on Tashan Peak. The girl in the white guard's post of late seemed to seek trouble without cause. Chapter 442. Chapter 442. Wang Zhang's mysterious death. She ran to the detective agency to discuss Dakongshuan with Miao Ruolan. As two melons hanging on the vine of ancient martial cultivation, discussing cultivation techniques doesn't seem like a big deal, but Dakongshuan is very special. Miao Ruolan knows very well how this cultivation technique is taught. It's spun out by grabbing the ears of the fat rabbit in front. Zhou Mei discussing this with Miao Ruolan. What do you want Miao Ruolan to think? Aren't you just telling Miao Ruolan that I, Lin Ziasu, grabbed your fat rabbit? Luckily, Ruolan is gentle and wise. She didn't mention this, happily accompanying him. If it were exchanged for someone else, they'd have overturned into the Yishui River. Lin Ziasu walked leisurely, passing Shilapu, entering Old Tashan. From afar, he saw his dad and mom busy in the vegetable garden. Speaking of which, Dad didn't go out to work anymore. The old couple planted vegetables together, sold them together, went up the mountains and down to the fields together. It seemed like they were living the ideal rural life of a middle-aged couple. Lin Ziasu approached, calling out Dad, Mom, opening a new joyful chapter for the old couple. Stop farming. Accompany your son back home. Lin Ziasu used the detective agency's special affairs to explain 2 to 3 months of no news, giving Mom an additional 200,000 as second quarter income to stabilize the family. The old couple was completely comforted. The detective agency engages in special professions, with secret investigations being most common, so being out of contact for several months is understandable. Moreover, such high income. The old couple isn't ignorant of the truth. How difficult is it to earn money these days? The methods for making fast money are recorded in the criminal law, aren't they? Proper income, big money requires either time cost or silent cost, doesn't it? Occasionally disappearing for a few months is something acceptable. Journeying home, the old couple spoke to Lin Ziasu about the major family events. The biggest news was visiting Taichung City last month. His brother's marriage is settled, the wedding scheduled for next May. It's just that, considering his brother's actual situation, they may have to temporarily settle there after marriage, waiting until his brother retires and changes careers before coming back. The bride price was 200,000. Speaking of the bride price, Dad was quite moved. In the village, households really shell out a layer of skin for their son's bride price. Only our family, the son succeeds. The brothers gather the bride price for the elder brother. The old couple enjoys on dry land. But well, his brother also said that this money counts as his loan from you, and once he receives his retirement and career change fee, he'll repay you. As they spoke, they returned to their own little courtyard. Haven't been back for a long time. The courtyard has been upgraded again. Dad handcrafted the garden, transplanted some mountain trees, arranging the yard with quite a bit of Jiangnan garden taste. Lin Ziasu was very happy, praising Dad's taste. Dad laughed, "What taste do I have? It's all your wife's doing." Little Yi emerged, standing in the garden to welcome Lin Ziasu. She was the one among all who was most indifferent to his disappearance. No questioning, no inquiries. Lin Ziasu returned home after several months to her. It was like just a day had passed. Lin Ziasu sat on the platform on the second floor, enjoying an afternoon of rural life. Second aunt was feeding chickens next door. Third uncle was herding cattle. The black dog strolled along the riverbank. The yellow cow with a bell returned to the pen. Lin Fugui lay under the big tree, shirtless. Anna's belly had started to grow larger, Lin Jian helping her down the steps. As night fell, Old Tashan village quieted down. On the second floor of the Lin family courtyard, little Yi, holding a towel, entered the room, closed the door, and asked, "Are you going to do it tonight?" "No." "Oh." Little Yi hung the towel by the bed. Slept. Lin Ziasu sat cross-legged by the window, meditating. The fourth heavenly star tier formed. The first skin heavenly star stored in secret realm space. The second flesh star shattered and integrated into the body. The third bone star ascended. In just one night, he took another small step in the cultivation path. He's already a 4-star shining sky, closer to observing heaven. The next day, he walked on the countryside path. He seemed to want to relive some familiar rural life, but now, he could probably never again have the sunrise to sunset rural leisure. A person appeared in front of him. At first glance, it's little Yi. Upon closer look, it's not. It's Chang Yi. Lin Ziasu smiled. Of all who cared for him, Chang Yi was the most special one. Regarding the degree of concern, she ranked first among everyone. Because only she knew why he disappeared. He chose to stay in a foreign country voluntarily, executing the most dangerous mission with her. Not to mention if she is a lover, even if not just as a comrade, Chang Yi would deeply care for him. She sent him a message. "I went to that place you mentioned, but didn't find you." The message was short, but it reflected a lot. What does this mean? It means Chang Yi took action later, entered the Divine Temple specifically to find him. The Divine Temple isn't a place ordinary people can enter, is it? From the current situation, it is occupied by the Flying Eagle Army. And Chang Yi went there. She actually already informed him there's the shadow of Qianlong behind the Flying Eagle Army. Capturing the Divine Temple might have been part of Qianlong's plan all along. After returning to the surface, Lin Ziasu replied to her message. She didn't send another one, she had already sent herself over. "Little darling," Lin Ziasu opened his arms and embraced her. Chang Yi twisted slightly in his embrace. This little darling, is it for Chang Yi or little Yi? Isn't it obvious? Of course it's for Chang Yi, Lin Ziasu said. "I should tell you, little Yi asks me every day with a towel if I want to do it, and I always shake my head." Chang Yi chuckled. "I'm starting to doubt it. You said in your message that all 3 legs are there. Is that a lie? If that leg was still there, how could you resist not moving her?" "I'm saving it to move you." Chang Yi shrank slightly. "I brought a flying car over. Let's discuss it on the flying car. As soon as the words dropped, a flying car descended from the sky. The two entered the flying car, where another person was present, the alluring Blue Demon. Blue Demon smiled charmingly. Don't blame me for not knowing when to step away. This is indeed something extraordinary. Speak. Lin Zayasu's expression calmed down. The flying car soared through the sky, leaving behind those on the ground. The interior of the car was quiet, filled with a sense of impending storm. Chang Yi spoke, Wang Zhang's is dead. 5 words and Lin Zayasu's heart leaped. Chang Yi continued, the trip to the Middle East was a complete success. You stayed behind while we returned smoothly to the headquarters. Yet, before we could complete the interrogation, Wang Zhang's inexplicably died. How exactly did it happen so inexplicably? Take a look, this is the interrogation video. Blue Demon lightly tapped a spot on the flying car. The glass surrounding the flying car was covered by a screen. This was an interrogation room. Seated in the room was Wang Zhang's, who had by then reverted to his true self. Facing him were 3 interrogators. Just as they sat down and took out their tools, but before they could start the questioning, Wang Zhang suddenly slumped in his chair. Lin Ziaosu furrowed his brow, using Heavenly Tao Wisdom Eye to observe. He had to admit that through this video, he couldn't discern anything. What was the forensic report? Lin Ziaosu asked. Chang Yi spoke. No signs of poisoning, no external injuries. Consciousness was directly cleared. Consciousness directly cleared, Lin Ziaosu said. Were there any damages to his brain cells? That's precisely what's most baffling. His brain cells were undamaged, Chang Yi said. It differs from cases involving life-soul goo. Life-soul goo essentially utilizes goo worms to destroy brain cells. If the brain cells were damaged, they could basically determine it was another case of life-soul goo murder, where Wang Zhang's would also have the life-soul goo, but the brain cells were intact, differentiating it from life-soul goo victim cases. Blue Demon said, there's a troublesome individual. Who? Miao Yin. Lin Ziaosu's heart skipped. Miao Yin, Heavenly King. Someone suspects this was infrasound killing. Having ruled out life-soul goo, all that's left is infrasound killing, Blue Demon stated. And coincidentally, during the interrogation, Miao Yin was at the control panel. She could communicate with the room through the intercom. Lin Ziaosu asked, is it customary in Qianlong for the Heavenly King to oversee the control panel? Yes, for high-profile individuals, the Heavenly King sits in. Miao Yin is adept at gauging responses and timely advises interrogators to adjust directions, so the decision-making department assigned her to oversee Wang Zhang's interrogation. What's Miao Yin Heavenly King's current situation? Lin Ziaosu asked. The situation is very awkward, Blue Demon explained. She was present on site, she led the interrogation which went completely awry, and she just happens to have the subsonic technique, although she insists its use would inevitably damage brain cells which doesn't align with Wang Zhang's death. One cannot deny the theory that subsonic technique can achieve clearing consciousness without harming brain cells. Lin Ziaosu fell silent. Yes, this is science. Subsonic technique generally doesn't kill people. At Miao Yin Heavenly King's level, she can kill, but it damages brain cells. Everyone who died at her hands displayed this trait. However, Lin Ziaosu knew this was only because Miao Yin Heavenly King hadn't reached the highest level of subsonic mastery. At the highest level, subsonic can kill imperceptibly. Brain cells unharmed, theoretically possible. When Miao Yin Heavenly King claims she hasn't reached this level, who can confirm? All these coincidences put Miao Yin Heavenly King in an awkward position. Qianlong can't genuinely punish her over this, yet her suspicion remains unresolved. She still resides in her piano house, but is already unable to go out easily, effectively under house arrest. More important is not a Heavenly King's inexplicable plight, but Wang Zhang's, a crucial piece on Qianlong's chessboard, vanished without a trace. The enormous triumph Lin Ziaosu, Chang Yi, and Xinyu achieved on their foreign mission vanished like smoke. Qianlong's plan to expose 9-headed snake's century-old scheme in Daxia, facilitated through Wang Zhang's words, came to a halt. Did you come here today to ask me to investigate this case? Lin Ziaosu asked. Chang Yi's eyes brightened. Is there any way to investigate? At the very least, through the video, there's no way to investigate, Lin Ziaosu responded. If you, If I tell you, we've already obtained Chief Long's special permission for you to enter headquarters, can you investigate? Blue Demon asked. Lin Zayasu's heart skipped a beat. Special permission obtained. Yes. Lin Zayasu squinted. For a moment he said nothing further. Chapter 443. Chapter 443. First entry into Qianlong headquarters. The hearts of the two women stirred like waves. Lin Zayasu entering the headquarters was something that was absolutely impossible before, because how could the Qianlong headquarters, the most confidential place, allow non-staff to enter so easily? Especially someone like Lin Zayasu, with his extraordinary vision, intelligence, and unparalleled insight. His entry into any secret base was deeply unsettling. The Qianlong headquarters is the site of Qianlong's highest secrets. Even ordinary gold medals can't enter freely, let alone him. However, the situation is now urgent. The signs indicate that there is a traitor within Qianlong, and it's becoming increasingly obvious. For example, the Wang Zhang's incident. Wang Zhang's escape. Originally, no one knew his second identity was Louis. Lin Zayasu found it out. As soon as he found out, masters of the nine-headed snake had entered the Middle East from Luoba State and even infiltrated the Mengu military camp. What does that signify? It signifies that the information has been leaked. What's more outrageous is that Wang Zhang's, brought back to headquarters through an extremely dangerous situation, was killed to silence him there. This silencing was probably a last resort for the nine-headed snake, as they couldn't bear Wang Zhang speaking out, since the entire nine-headed snake in Daxia was orchestrated by Wang Zhang's. As long as he spoke, the entire groundwork would collapse. Therefore, they even risked everything to kill Wang Zhang's. This was the reason for employing the highest level of a spy to go all out in killing Wang Zhang's. And it was this killing that made Chief Long truly furious. Even if it breaks the norm, they must root out this traitor. Otherwise, the loss to Qianlong would not be trivial. Every task released carries the possibility of a leak. Every member sent out risks losing their life. So, as soon as Lin Zayasu returned to Daxia, as soon as Chang Yi received his message, she didn't hesitate. Following her foster father's, Chief Long's instructions, along with Blue Demon, appeared before him. All of this were orders from Chief Long. It was the will of Chief Long. However, whether to accept this will or not was up to Lin Zayasu himself. Countless thoughts swirled in Lin Zayasu's mind. Objectively speaking, he was also somewhat hesitant. Qianlong headquarters is the heaviest manhole cover in the Daxia country. Lifting it at this stage is really not the best time. However, the objective situation is right there. The internal traitor in headquarters had become too rampant, and its impact on him had begun to materialize. So fine, since the cover will have to be lifted eventually, lift it, then. His gaze slowly lifted, and a smile slowly appeared on his face. I'll give Dad a call to let him know. Making a call meant the end of his just-begun rest period at home, and once again embarking on his journey. Once the call was ended, the sky car glided through the long sky. This most special door of Qianlong headquarters finally opened for him. If you asked Lin Zayasu what kind of journey experience entering Qianlong headquarters was, he couldn't say. Because the sky car was fully closed, and on the glass window, an eye-pleasing image of Lotus Pond moonlight was displayed. Blue Demon and Chang Yi didn't say what it meant. Lin Zayasu also didn't ask. Everyone understood in their hearts but did not speak it out. Chief Long, based on a special situation, needed him to enter the headquarters. However, the location of Qianlong headquarters is the most secretive of secrets. Not to mention him, even for a Qianlong gold medal, entering and exiting the headquarters is completely closed off, with the sky car having a preset route, automatic driving, and all the displayed coordinates are random, meaning even an official Qianlong gold medal is not allowed to probe the location of the headquarters. Lin Zayasu had no intention of probing. Sipping the tea brewed by Chang Yi, he lightly smiled. I know you all have a question. Where have I been for the past 2 months, is that right? Blue Demon and Chang Yi's eyes lit up simultaneously. Where have you been? I went underground. Underground? Chang Yi gasped in shock. The Divine Temple isn't the true base of Utopia. The true base of Utopia is in the Bridge Realm, behind a big door in the basement of the Divine Temple. It's a 5-elements gate, and behind it is a vast world. Another Kun Kang. Blue Demon's heart pounded. Similar to Kun Kang, yet more complex, Kun Kang has 83 peaks, while the Bridge Realm has 193 clans. Lin Zaiasu disclosed everything about the Bridge Realm. Their eyes widened. Their mouths involuntarily gaped open. They were certainly not ignorant people. Indeed, they were among the most knowledgeable in the world. Yet they knew nothing about the world he spoke of. They had some knowledge of the Earth Core strange race, but the entire image of them was currently only formed by the Li Tian clan. They had witnessed the horror and peculiarity of the Li Tian clan, whose limbs could transform into swords and blades at will, their bodies could transform into fierce beasts at any time, and severed limbs could regenerate, a terror beyond description. However, in the Bridge Realm that Lin Zaiasu described, they are actually the most normal species. From the human perspective, they are the most normal, because they are the most similar to the human clan. The other races almost have nothing in common with the human clan. There are many races in the Bridge Realm, and their combat power is extremely strong. Preliminary judgment suggests that the number of individuals with the combat power of giants of the Kun Kang Enlightenment Realm might be even greater than in Kun Kang. Upon hearing this, Blue Demon's face changed dramatically. Kun Kang Enlightenment Realm has constraints. Their Enlightenment Realm combat power cannot be unleashed outside Kun Kang, so what about the Bridge Realm? Do they have constraints? You've touched on the critical core point, sister, Lin Zaiasu said. Currently, the Bridge Realm also has constraints, and their constraints are even greater than Kun Kang's. Except for the Li Tian clan, all other races cannot step out of the Bridge Realm even a half step, because they can't adapt to the outside air and sunlight. If they forcefully try to come out, their bodies will explode and they will die. Blue Demon gently lifted her hand and pressed it on her chest. Thank goodness. She would never admit that she was scared, but her expression clearly showed she was really frightened, because she had seen with her own eyes the immortal power of giants of the Enlightenment Realm capable of destroying heaven and earth. And if the giants of the Bridge Realm could cross boundaries, the whole world would become chaotic. Chang Yi slightly frowned. When you say currently, are you suggesting there might be changes? Yes, that's the second key point, Lin Zaiasu said. The Bridge Realm strange clan is, at most, in the middle to lower strata, or perhaps even the bottom tier within the Earth Core strange race system. They have this constraint, but it doesn't mean that the true giants of the Earth Core world also have this constraint. There are signs that Earth Core strange race with pure bloodlines can break this constraint. Why? It has been analyzed before. If the Earth Core strange race couldn't stand in the sunlight of the human clan world, Emperor Kun wouldn't have to mutilate his own body, extracting 13 ribs to create the heaven and earth breaking array. Even if Lin Zaiasu didn't trust his own judgment, he had to trust Emperor Kun's judgment. Blue Demon's eyes slowly lifted, gently letting out a breath. The Earth Core strange race really have the potential to break free. This world is already full of holes and scars. Despite our constant patching, no one can say for sure which will arrive first, accidents or tomorrow. Lin Zaiasu also felt deeply. Chang Yi's hand gently pressed on Lin Zaiasu's hand. We've seldom communicated about Earth Core affairs before. Yes, previously the Earth Core world was just a legend, but now I know it isn't a legend. Ancient wilderness breaking boundaries, Earth Core breaking seals might be close at hand. Others may not know, but Qianlong cannot remain ignorant. Just like Lin Weiyang said back then, we cannot greet such a high-level change without any preparation. Entering the headquarters this time, maybe the old man will take some time to talk with you, Chang Yi said. Say what's on your mind and tell him clearly. All right. Sister Lan, what are your thoughts? Chang Yi's gaze turned to Blue Demon. 3 insights and all are profound. Blue Demon gently expelled a breath. First insight, like hearing about a fantasy story. Second insight, I feel little Sue is missing out. The information you brought back from your trip to the Bridge Realm is far more valuable than hunting a heavenly king, yet you can't receive a reward. Lin Zaiasu smiled. And the third insight? Third insight, I need to study more, especially those mystical things in the Hidden Dragon Book Pavilion. Otherwise, I might completely fall behind. As her voice faded, the flying car swooped down from high altitude. Upon reaching the ground, the projections around the flying car completely disappeared, becoming transparent glass. Lin Zaiasu raised his eyes to see the Qianlong headquarters. Surrounded by high mountains, the sky had only a small patch. The mountain body was like being carved by an axe, resembling a sky pit. Within the sky pit is another world. Architecturally rich in technological sense, mostly round structures, Each building is clean and neat. A small river flows out of the valley. On both banks, green trees in the red pavilion, extremely elegant. The flying car door opened. A cool breeze blew in, faintly carrying a floral scent. In the sky, a red sun rose high. Behind the red sun, clouds drifted. This is the real sky. This is the real nature. The only unrealistic place is the mountain top. Within Lin Zaiasu's heavenly Tao wisdom eye, he saw array patterns. His emotions surged in waves. He vaguely guessed the hidden law of Qianlong headquarters. Many have speculated about the Qianlong headquarters being underground or in a huge cave, because no national satellite can locate it. However, they guessed wrong. Qianlong headquarters isn't underground or in a cave. It's on the surface. It's just that an array surrounds it, encapsulating the headquarters, making it invisible to satellites and likely to airplanes flying high. Who would have thought that Qianlong, this most authentic modern power based on technology, would also have an element of array? Don't try to locate the headquarters, you won't find it. Blue Demon smiled slightly at him. Sister Lan, don't provoke him. If his competitive spirit is triggered, he might really try to find it. Chang Yi quickly stopped her, glancing at Lin Zaiasu and adding, Little Su, don't recklessly show off, it doesn't benefit you. She truly knows her little husband's capabilities. If he is determined, he might actually find the headquarters location. But as she said, there's truly no benefit in it. Qianlong headquarters is allowing him in today, showing the greatest trust. Digging further into this secret is not only unnecessary, but also very disrespectful and highly taboo. Rest assured, Lin Zaiasu said, since you brought me in, I can't just violate rules as soon as I enter and sell you out. I won't probe the headquarters' secrets, focusing solely on the task at hand is the only goal. Chang Yi sighed in relief. Then, where to start? Let's first see Wang Zhang's body. Chapter 444. Chapter 444. Secondary Deity Killing. The three of them walked along the clean and tidy sidewalk and entered a modern building with a strong sense of technology. Blue Demon stepped forward. A green light shot into her forehead, dispersed on her face, positioned at the iris, and a number appeared on the door. 3. Then the door opened. The three entered. Lin Zaiasu whispered into Chang Yi's ear, Sister Blue is so badass, ranked third in the Heavenly King team. Chang Yi, unable to perform secret transmission, leaned closer to his ear and whispered back. That's not what it means. 3 is level 3 authority. Dragon Chief has level 1 authority. Red Flag and the decision-making department's 18 main officers have second-level authority. Heavenly King is level 3. What about you? Chang Yi extended his hand. Level 5 authority. In such a context, level 3 authority is already quite badass. It allows direct access to all necessary destinations. Blue Demon led them into the elevator, descending deep underground, and judging by speed and time, Lin Zaiasu deduced it to be at least 500 meters down. The door opened, and he saw a room similar to a morgue. Countless dark chambers. Dark chamber number 757 opened, revealing the frozen corpse of Wang Zhang's. He had been thoroughly autopsied, currently resumed, and Lin Zaiasu extended a finger, touching Wang Zhang's forehead. The two women beside had some doubt, yet also a bit of excitement. Excited because each time they saw him solve a case, they felt a sense of novelty. Confused because they truly didn't know where he could find a breakthrough. Wang Zhang's was already dead. His brain opened. Everything that needed checking had been checked. Qianlong's most proficient forensic experts examined him repeatedly, not even leaving a single hair uninspected. Yet he, without any professional equipment, merely placed a finger on the deceased's forehead. But why did he have a slightly shocked expression on his face? Indeed, Lin Zaiasu was shocked. His hand rested on Wang Zhang's forehead, and under the heavenly Tao primordial spirit, Wang Zhang's brain structure was vividly clear. He was now exceedingly familiar with the human brain, probably another benefit after contacting the Lost Lotus. His two primordial spirits wandered inside the Lost Lotus and his own brain, unraveling his own Lost Road Gate, a grand and high-class name on the cultivation path referred to as Heavenly Human Lock. He knew the brain's structure like the back of his hand, arguably clearer than any brain expert in the world. At this moment, Wang Zhang's was utterly dead. His brain resembled a desolate wasteland, providing no help in solving the case. Therefore, he needed another divine skill, time-space reversal. With this reversal, Lin Zaiasu seemed to witness the entire process of a human brain's death. No, from the perspective of rewinding from death to life. A month ago, 2 months ago. He was somewhat nervous since his previous time-space reversal could only go back 2 months. But today, it easily surpassed the 2-month timeline, arriving directly at the day Wang Zhang's had his accident. His spiritual power was highly concentrated, capturing the change in that critical moment. He saw it. Mysterious force annihilated Wang Zhang's consciousness. This force tremendously shocked him. From when his finger touched Wang Zhang's forehead, approximately 10 minutes passed. Lin Zaiasu's eyes slowly opened. Did you find anything? Blue Demon was a bit nervous. Need to look at one more place. Where? Interrogation room. Cheng Yi slightly startled upon hearing. Blue Demon pondered for a moment, then gently nodded. All right. She lightly flicked her finger, closing this dark chamber, and the three took the elevator to the 18th underground level. The elevator door opened, revealing a brightly lit office area. Blue Demon walked briskly to the door ahead. A large character next to the door, interrogation. Only one character, different from external door plates, but this character itself seemed to possess a certain intimidating force, making the surrounding air feel particularly suffocating. She reached the door, and a familiar number appeared on the door, 3. The door opened with a robot inside. Command 5, Blue Demon said. The robot saluted. A door silently appeared in the wall behind. This is the interrogation room Lin Zaiasu saw through the video. A single chair and a table opposite, very simple. It seemed particularly simple, but the technological content of this interrogation room was unimaginably high. Lin Zaiasu strode over and sat down hard on that interrogation chair. This chair was not activated. The high-tech restraints on both sides of the chair were not triggered. Yet when Lin Zaiasu sat down like that, it still made Cheng Yi wince slightly. No one truly wants to sit in this chair. Sitting there, even if innocent, would still evoke a sense of being interrogated. But Lin Zaiasu sat quietly, his gaze directed forward. He was capturing an angle. What angle? The angle from which the mysterious force in Wang Zhang's brain was generated. This is why he had to come to the interrogation room. In Wang Zhang's brain, he could only see a mysterious shockwave. But where exactly this shockwave came from, he couldn't see. However, after entering the interrogation room, sitting right in the chair where Wang Zhang's had sat, and assuming Wang Zhang's physical state at that time, he could clearly see the direction from which the shockwave came. The room was empty at the moment. But under the time-space reversal, it was naturally different. He saw. At that time, there were 3 people opposite him. 2 men and 1 woman. At first glance, nothing was unusual, no abnormalities even upon closer inspection. However, just as they sat down and were about to commence the interrogation, specifically when they were doing the preparation work, the man in the middle took out a pen, gently pressed down the pen's tip, and placed the pen beside the notepad. Throughout the process, there was not the slightest abnormality. But at the very moment he pressed the pen tip, Wang Zhang's consciousness vanished. And coincidentally, the pen tip was aimed right at Wang Zhang's head. Lin Zaiasu stood up. Little Sue, the 2 women went over simultaneously. We've seen everything we need to, let's go out, Lin Zaiasu said. The 3 left the interrogation room, took the elevator, exited the building, and walked beside the small river. At this time of year, the river water was tranquil. On both sides of the river, rows of small wooden houses, the fallen leaves still slightly green. Autumn coolness seemed to have visited quietly here. Any discoveries? Cheng Yi asked. Lin Zaiasu took a firm step onto a green stone. A glint of light flashed across Blue Demon's eyes. She seemed to have glimpsed some possibility. Having worked with him quite a bit, she had a sharp intuition, feeling that this guy seemed to have indeed discovered some hint. Even if it was unbelievably so. The killing was done using subdivine skill. Subsonic, really, Cheng Yi was shocked in disbelief. This was the situation she feared the most. Within Qianlong, this was a deeply avoided case, yet there were indeed many who suspected Miao Yin Heavenly King. Cheng Yi had a very good impression of Miao Yin Heavenly King. Blue Demon even regarded Miao Yin Heavenly King as a close friend, a sister. They truly hoped it was not her doing. But today, with one word from Lin Zaiasu, they were both alarmed. No, not subsonic, Lin Zaiasu said. It was subdivine skill, spiritual power, secret technique. Blue Demon's heart jumped, similar to Shadowy Heaven King. Spiritual power, secret technique. She had personally experienced it once, which was during the last life Soul Gu disaster. Shadowy Heaven King entered Jiangcheng, attacking her once. Lin Zaiasu entered Jiangcheng, had a confrontation with Shadowy Heaven King by the river. Shadowy Heaven King used a mask as a base to enhance the power of the spiritual power secret technique, attacked by a large margin. If it weren't for Lin Zaiasu using another half-mask to perform Dekongxuan to protect her, she might have been in a life and death crisis. Therefore, she had a profound sense of the bizarre and deadly nature of the spiritual power secret technique, which came without trace and was hard to defend against. Yes, Lin Zaiasu stated firmly. You are sure? 100%. In the present world, no one probably knew the spiritual power secret technique better than Lin Zaiasu. Because he himself had sub-god skill reaching level 22, he had encountered at least 4 sub-divine attacks in his life. First encounter with sub-divine skill entering Thousand Spirit Holy Coffin with Catherine, Huikong's attack from Chaiyuan Temple, Shadowy Heaven King's attack, Elder Dai's attack, and was someone who had opened the sub-divine realm, unlocking the heavenly human lock. Sub-divine secret technique, Cheng Yi said, then it couldn't be Miao Yin Heavenly King. It wasn't her in the first place, Lin Zaiasu said. Then who exactly was it, Cheng Yi asked. Sub-divine kills, like subsonic kills, were invisible and shapeless. Even if killing face-to-face, you would die without evidence. At the very least, everyone knew in Qianlong there was someone adept in subsonic like Miao Yin. But sub-divine skill, the entire Qianlong had never heard of it. If this was an investigation, even if you figured out the opponent's killing method, it would still be a dead end. This kind of invisible kill itself was a blind spot for detective skill. Lin Zaiasu didn't directly answer this question, but made a request. Give me a detailed look at the information of these 3 interrogators. Back to the flying car, a projection on the car window displayed 3 individuals. What he saw were all codenames. The first person on the left was Li Feng, skilled in interrogation. Any stubborn element under his hand would be swept away like fallen leaves by autumn wind. The woman on the right, Qing Yan, was adept at guiding, skillfully leading in a state of no breakthrough. Qing Yan was formless, nurturing silently. The person in the middle was Miao Yan. This person had outstanding battle achievements, extracting a lot of people from the mouths of many 9-headed snake stubborn elements, even uncovering 2 Qianlong insiders. Although he was just a background interrogation personnel, who said there were no battle achievements from the background. Through exquisite interrogation, he dug up enemies, which was also a merit even higher than ordinary gold medal fighting at the front. Lin Zaiasu stared at the interrogation projection. Is this pen your usual office supplies? Yes, Blue Demon said. Anyone can take it casually for free. She raised her hand, took a pen from the flying car, identical to the pen in the recording. This was just an ordinary office supply. Cheng Yi frowned slightly. Do you think with electronic records there's no need to use a pen, so you question his habit of using a pen? In fact, this is a kind of psychological pressure. Slowly recording with a pen can impose psychological pressure on the opponent. Many people like to do this during interrogation. In modern interrogation, indeed a pen is not needed. Your words, there's a recording. Voice can be easily converted into text and printed via computer. However, as Cheng Yi said, the sound of the pen tip sliding across the paper, that rustling for the person being interrogated, was a kind of intense psychological oppression. Interrogation is a skill. Using a pen, using paper, are all tools of interrogation. Chapter 445. Chapter 445, Meeting the Interrogation Expert. Let's go meet this person, said Lin Zaiasu. The 2 women's hearts skipped a beat. Miao Yan. Miao Yan, indescribably wonderful, Lin Zaiasu smiled slightly. That codename is interesting, let's meet him directly. Do you suspect him? Blue Demon asked, her face serious. Lin Zaiasu turned his gaze to her, not answering, but a non-answer was still an answer. Cheng Yi's heart was racing. Miao Yan is a top expert in interrogation and naturally a top expert in counter-interrogation. Do you intend to interrogate him? It's not just about whether you can interrogate him or not, Blue Demon said. There's also the issue of authority. Miao Yan is the head of the interrogation office and possesses level 3 authority. With my level of authority, I do not have the qualifications to directly interrogate him. If you have concrete evidence of his crimes or an indisputable chain of criminal activities, then I can report to the elders for temporary authorization, but for now. The problem was clear to both women. Firstly, they didn't have the authority. Secondly, even with authority, they probably couldn't extract anything. Who is Miao Yan? Someone who makes a living through interrogation. He spent his whole life mastering interrogation. While interrogating others, how could his counter-interrogation skills not be refined to perfection? And you, an outsider, wish to interrogate him, and even expect to get any results. He could even directly point at Lin Zaiasu's nose and say, "Get out of my office." Lin Zaiasu would still be at a loss for what to do. Lin Zaiasu laughed. "No need to make a big fuss, it's not worth blowing out of proportion. I just intend to have a chat with him." Having a chat with him is not that simple. You'd better come up with an outline for the conversation, and the three of us should analyze it carefully. "There won't be the three of us," Lin Zaiasu said. "The chat can only take place in a private setting between him and me." The two women looked at each other in disbelief. "Trust me, I'll give you a big surprise," Lin Zaiasu said, his eyes gleaming with mystery. Blue Demon exhaled softly. "Are you really sure?" Her 5 words were full of meaning. She seemed to be asking if he was sure that this person was truly problematic. She also seemed to be asking if he was sure he wanted to go through with it this way. Because she was not a fool, she stood at a high vantage point and saw far. She was the Qianlong king, aware of all the rules. She knew that Lin Zaiasu's choice involved complexity in people, but was overly simple in procedure. No matter what the final outcome would be, this was not an ideal choice. "You probably haven't seen a dried-up rural pond," Lin Zaiasu smiled faintly. "In such ponds, the water slowly diminishes, becomes murkier, and some fish hidden at the bottom start jumping out on their own. At this stage, it's no longer about skill and knowledge but instinct." Blue Demon slowly stood up. "When? Now, let's go." The three of them stepped out of the flying car and re-entered the modern building. This time they took the elevator but not the descending route, rather they ascended. The 5th floor. The sun shone brightly. Outside, spring was in full bloom. In a large office, Blue Demon walked in first. The people near the desk, both men and women, were slightly surprised, but just a little. At the innermost part there was a passage. At the entrance of the passage stood 2 people. "King Lanchan, is there anything you need?" "This is Mr. Lin. He needs to see number 38. "I'll contact the chief." "All right." The guardian raised his hand. Light flickered on his wrist, and a series of numbers were entered. Quickly, the green light turned on. The guardian bowed slightly. "Please, Your Majesty." "I won't go in, Mr. Lin, please." Lin Zaiasu strolled in. The passage was very deep. The passage was very quiet. A full 20 meters away, a door appeared before Lin Zaiasu. Lin Zaiasu gently pushed it open, and the door gave way. Inside was an office. In the surveillance footage, Miao Yan was the one clearly visible, sitting behind the desk with a computer monitor in front of him. Beyond that, nothing else. Miao Yan lifted his gaze, smiling as he watched Lin Zaiasu enter. "Is your surname Lin?" His voice was soft, his enunciation very clear. This was probably a special skill honed from years of interrogation. Even when speaking softly, people naturally leaned in to hear every word he said. "Yes, Lin Zaiasu, Fengcheng's detective." "Ah, detective as well," Miao Yan smiled. "Please have a seat." Lin Zaiasu sat down in the chair opposite him. "Would you like something to drink?" "No, thank you." "Then I won't be polite," Miao Yan smiled slightly. "What brings you here?" "I came to Qianlong headquarters at the invitation of Chief Long." "No wonder Blue Demon King personally introduced you," Miao Yan said. Lin Zaiasu said, "I am here to uncover the truth behind Wang Zhang's death." Miao Yan's eyes flashed slightly. "Have you discovered anything?" "Yes," Lin Zaiasu said, "the real villain is you." Miao Yan's expression froze slightly and then slowly relaxed. "Detective Lin, are you joking?" "Look at my expression, does it look like I'm joking?" Lin Zaiasu said. Miao Yan looked at him quietly. "Indeed, your expression doesn't look like a joke, but what you said is nothing short of a joke." "Subdivine skill." Lin Zaiasu uttered 3 words. Miao Yan just frowned at him, without revealing any micro-expressions. Your micro-expression control is very precise, but Miao Yan, it's futile. Lin Zaiasu said, subdivine skill kills invisibly. It has its drawbacks. It's that those who possess the subdivine skill can sense each other's existence when they are together. You can sense me, and I can sense you. Isn't that so? Miao Yan's face was like waves passing through. At this moment, his micro-expression control began to falter, because the deepest secret he hid was thus uncovered face to face. Just as Lin Zaiasu said, for those who possess subdivine skill, as long as they are face to face, within sufficient proximity, they can sense the existence of each other's subdivine skill. Lin Zaiasu sensed him. He also sensed Lin Zaiasu. Once they sense each other, their deepest secrets are revealed simultaneously. In Qianlong, everyone has their own skills, Miao Yan said. I am in the interrogation business, possessing subdivine skill. Do you think that's a big problem? Subdivine skill is just one of the kinds of magic. Having it doesn't mean you are the real murderer. But Miao Yan, do you dare to deliver this pen in your hand to the Chief Long for an inspection? Lin Zaiasu said, the one you have hidden in the third drawer right now. The same one you used to kill Wang Zhang's during interrogation. Miao Yan laughed, reached out his hand, opened the third drawer, took out a notebook, and pulled out this pen from it. Is it this one? Yes, Lin Zaiasu said. As the two words fell, suddenly, everything before Lin Zaiasu changed. The office full of bright windows was gone. The table across and the chair beneath were gone. There was only Miao Yan. Countless Miao Yan. No, not quite like Miao Yan, because every Miao Yan was a tentacled monster. Thousands of tentacled monsters instantly trapped Lin Zaiasu's consciousness solidly. Lin Zaiasu, you are a terrifying detective, but your subgod skill is too low. You still completely don't know the true overpowering nature of subdivine skill. Miao Yan transmitted through consciousness, directly into Lin Zaiasu's sea of consciousness. Subdivine skill, divine control skill. Lin Zaiasu seemed genuinely anxious, struggling desperately, but the more he struggled, the tighter it got. Yes, you forced me, Miao Yan said. Your suspicion towards me, your direct accusation at this pen, shows signs it will bring me too much trouble. So what? You plan to kill me in the office. Even though the Heavenly King is watching outside, you still want to kill. No, in this current situation I cannot kill you. I can only control you, Miao Yan said. You will walk out of this office as usual. You will tell the Chief Long that Miao Yin Heavenly King is the true mastermind behind it all. If someone else heard these words, they would surely stare blankly, feeling chilled down the back. Controlling Lin Zaiasu, using Lin Zaiasu's mouth, reporting to Chief Long, hiding the real findings, casually incriminating and blaming. This is the truly overpowering side of the subdivine skill. In the midst of a struggle surrounded by thousands of tentacles, Lin Zaiasu suddenly stopped struggling and slowly raised his head. At this moment, his face was incredibly calm. Miao Yan, your idea is so clever, but have you considered one problem? What problem? This opportunity was intentionally created for you by me. Miao Yan was slightly stunned. Originally, my accusation of your proficiency in subdivine skill and uncovering the pen's issues was not enough to pin you as the real villain. It would only cause you some trouble, Lin Zaiasu said leisurely. But I predicted as long as I came to you alone, you would harbor fancy and thus adopt a more aggressive plan. So what? Miao Yan's heart was already greatly shaken. Lin Zaiasu's words gave him a certain sense of crisis because he finally realized that, without Blue Demon at his side, something was amiss. It seemed Lin Zaiasu indeed intentionally created an opportunity for him. If Blue Demon were present, if there were others in the office, he, Miao Yan, indeed wouldn't dare to implement this plan because subdivine control is a storm within the sea of consciousness, but the physical states of both would be abnormal. The only dark room without others around is convenient for display. Lin Zaiasu gave a faint grin, draining the pond dry to create pressure. The fish leaps up voluntarily, naturally leading to its own demise. Bind, Miao Yan cried out deeply, and thousands of tentacles contracted sharply, piercing into Lin Zaiasu's consciousness. This move was genuine infiltration. Consciousness infiltration completed control, and Lin Zaiasu turned into his puppet. This control skill is the most terrifying aspect of subdivine skill, divine control. Divine control, similar to primordial spirit possession, in some aspects even more terrifying than primordial spirit possession. Primordial spirit possession can only possess one person, while divine control skill can control multiple people. Seeing Miao Yan's countless tentacles drilling into Lin Ziaosu's consciousness, within moments, they could fully infiltrate his consciousness entirely. Suddenly, a door opened. When this door opened, countless tentacles seemed to encounter a super vacuum cleaner. With one suck, they were all detached. Pulled into the door. Miao Yan exclaimed in shock, "What is this? Ah, no. Speaking in terms of sub-god skill, indeed I'm inferior to you. But Miao Yan, you never imagined that I opened the heavenly human lock." Miao Yan was utterly astonished, no longer bothered whether it's possible to kill in the office. He moved his hand, pressing the pen's tip. His sub-divine power surged like a tide into the pen, enhancing pressure tenfold to hundredfold like a high-pressure water gun, swiping out like a sharp sword aimed at Lin Ziaosu's consciousness. If Lin Ziaosu's consciousness had hair, at this moment it would surely stand erect because he felt himself in an enclosed space, a super-giant sword above, slashing downwards, absolutely unavoidable, retreat impossible. This was that pen. The pen he had always focused on. However, he had the sub-divine realm. He stepped into the realm, the super-heavenly blade slashed down, cutting into the realm. This slash, like an ice blade slicing into a steel fusion furnace, turns into droplets of sub-god artifacts. Miao Yan's real-world face abruptly solidified after his 2 full-force initiations. His sub-god power was completely devoured by the sub-divine realm, leaving almost nothing of his sub-god power. Lin Ziaosu raised a finger, tapping on Miao Yan's forehead. "You've given me inspiration," Lin Ziaosu said. "Sub-god integration, sub-god penetration, maybe really opened a new door." Chapter 446. Chapter 446. Sub-divine skill God control. Within the sea of consciousness, the winds rage and waves surge. But inside the office, it's as quiet as night. Outside the office, Blue Demon and Chang Yi occasionally exchange glances, both trying hard to find some concern in each other's eyes, but unfortunately they both failed. What filled their eyes was confusion. They had been talking for a while now. Would there be any breakthroughs? Isn't that too optimistic? Impossible. Regardless of whether Miao Yan has issues, it's not something that can be discovered just by talking. But what did that sentence he said before taking action actually mean? When the water is drained, when the water is muddied, the fish will jump out on their own. Suddenly, a group of people entered from outside. The one leading them was unexpectedly the 9-department head of the decision-making department. Qianlong is an exceedingly complex and vast organization. It has the Chief Long and the decision-making department. Of course, overseeing the big picture is the Chief Long, but the 18 department heads of the decision-making department also have authority over major decisions. Their authority stands at the 2nd level, only beneath the Chief Long, 1 level higher than a heavenly king. The 9-department head, about 50 years old, strode forward with 3 people behind him, heading straight to Miao Yan's office. Blue Demon stepped out, blocking his way. "Please wait, 9-department head, there's something going on in Miao Yan's office." "Oh, King Lanchin is here too," the 9-department head said. "What's going on in Miao Yan's office?" "Investigating the death of Wang Zhang's." "Who's investigating?" Blue Demon was momentarily speechless. When a superior asks a question, it's expected to answer truthfully. However, Lin Ziaosu's situation is a bit sensitive. A non-staff member. Explaining it is quite troublesome, especially with a heap of mid- and lower-level staff around. Someone else chimed in. "The name is Lin Ziaosu. The information shows he is a non-staff member." "Nonsense." The 9-department head's face suddenly darkened. "A non-staff personnel enters the headquarters, directly into such a crucial place. Go, apprehend this person and investigate clearly." With a swish, the 3 people behind him instantly darted forward. However, just as they crossed the 20-meter corridor, someone suddenly appeared ahead. Blue Demon's face darkened like water, and her hand lifted gently. A flash of electricity, and the 3 people retreated simultaneously. Presumptuous, the 9-department head stepped forward. Blue Demon's eyes shone brightly, lifting her hand to grab the 9-department head. This was insubordination. It was a very obvious violation. However, Blue Demon at this moment couldn't care less. At worst, she would bring out the old man. However, just as her hand was about to touch the 9-department head, someone appeared in front of the 9-department head. Blue Demon's claw landed accurately on this person's shoulder. With a booming shock, Blue Demon flew back far, crashing through the office door behind her with a loud thud. This person, as straight as a javelin, had a solemn expression, appearing rather unremarkable, yet he was like a towering mountain. He was unexpectedly the first heavenly king of Qianlong, Jing Lei. As strong as Blue Demon was, her grasp on Jing Lei sent her flying directly. This was the power of Jing Lei. Jing Lei spoke in a deep voice. "Blue Demon, what are you trying to do? Do you still understand any rules?" His voice was low and powerful. In the office behind, everyone stood up. They looked on in surprise as the two great heavenly kings faced off. Chang Yi stepped between the two, lifting her hand lightly, with a dragon eye in her palm. From the dragon eye, a bright spot gradually enlarged, forming the scene of an office. Behind the office, someone slowly raised their head. "Chief Long," Jing Lei exclaimed, coming to attention. The 9 department head was also slightly surprised, coming to attention. All the people behind them stood up and came to attention. The Chief Long stood up from behind the desk, seemingly stepping right into this office. "Listen up, everyone," the Chief Long said. "Lin Ziasu was invited by me to investigate the case of Wang Zhang's. Everyone, no matter the rank, must cooperate." "Yes," Jing Lei responded. However, the 9 department head pointed to the office. "Chief Long, look." All the eyes gathered on the office. Inside the office was a bizarre scene. Lin Ziasu stood in front of Miao Yan, with a finger pointing at Miao Yan's forehead. Blue Demon's heart surged wildly, acting directly, killing Miao Yan with just one finger. Impossible, right? If you do this, not even the Yellow River can cleanse it. She could see this, and naturally others could too. Everyone's heart pounded, most anxiously Chang Yi. She knew very well Lin Ziasu's methods. With just one finger, he could really kill. "Little rival, you mustn't do this, otherwise, even the Godfather can't protect you." Lin Ziasu suddenly spoke. "Tell me, was it you who killed Wang Zhang's?" "Yes." With Miao Yan's one-word response, everyone was shaken simultaneously. "How is that possible? How could it be him? How did you kill him?" "I used the subdivine secret technique, along with this god-slaying pen to kill him." Everyone's eyes turned to the pen in Miao Yan's hand. Chang Yi and Blue Demon had a wild heartbeat. They suddenly understood Lin Ziasu's permission question. "Is this pen your everyday item?" The pen had long fallen under his suspicion. "But how does this pen kill?" Lin Ziasu seemed to hear everyone's inner question and asked the next question. "How does this pen kill?" "My subdivine skill is at level 28, normally unable to kill externally, at most it's God control. But this pen contains a Sun Lotus fragment, which enhances the power of the subdivine skill, allowing it to erase his consciousness." Sun Lotus fragment. These 4 words, even Lin Ziasu was taken aback. Subgod 3 treasures, Lost Lotus, Sun and Moon Double Lotus. The Lost Lotus is pressed beneath the abyssal grand formation of the Bridge Realm. He saw it, and although he didn't obtain the real lotus, its effect had already been exerted, which was equivalent to receiving it. There are signs that the Moon Lotus is in the hands of the Utopia Ancestral Hall, which is what the left envoy referred to as the Holy Lotus. He had never heard of the Sun Lotus. But now, in the hands of this undercover agent in Qianlong, there was unexpectedly a pen, with fragments of the Sun Lotus inside. No wonder the earlier strike was so terrifyingly powerful. "Where did you get the Sun Lotus fragment from?" Lin Ziasu asked a more critical question. "It was given to me by Liu Yi of the 9 Strategy Department." The gaze of everyone present instantly turned towards the 9 Strategy Department. At this moment, the face of the 9 Strategy Department was utterly bloodless. "So, Liu Yi of the 9 Strategy Department is your superior?" "Yes, Liu Yi asked me to kill Wang Zhang's." "Nonsense," the 9 Strategy Department roared. The shadowy face of the chief Long at the scene sank like water. "Arrest them." In a flash, Blue Demon struck. Stretching out a hand, she pressed down on the left shoulder of the 9 Strategy Department, and on the other side, a shadow flashed, and Chang Yi's finger pointed at the brow of the 9 Strategy Department. Her nails were long and shiny. Her face was radiant and colorful. Liu Yi of the 9 Strategy Department shouted, "He's lying, I've never." "Shut up," Blue Demon snapped coldly, and a strong blue light burst from her hand, enveloping the entire body of the 9 Strategy Department in electricity, causing him to tremble incessantly. Lin Ziasu glanced back. The 9 strategy department probably thought that shouting and causing a commotion could interrupt my interrogation, but unfortunately you misunderstood. You can't interrupt. Miao Yan, keep talking. Why did you work for the 9 strategy department? 10 years ago, I made a mistake overseas, and the 9 strategy department held that over me, so I had to obey him. Later, he used his position to promote me. The tremors of the entire 9 strategy department intensified. Lin Ziasu said, one last question. Who are your people within the Qianlong team? Wang Hong Li Li Zhou Saifeng Du Heijin. Miao Yan mentioned 8 names. The Chief Long's eyes shone brightly. Red flag, go. 3 words, signifying the downfall of 8 people. Everyone present was in shock. What kind of interrogation rules are these? No build-up, no techniques needed, just ask, and the truth spills out like beans from a bamboo tube. Could this also be a subdivine skill? Miao Yan killed invisibly with a subdivine skill. Lin Ziasu made him confess with a subdivine skill. The killing technique is extremely frightening, because no one can guard against it. The interrogation technique appears much more mild, but in fact, its terrifying degree is even stronger than that of killing. Because in just a moment, 8 undercover agents were exposed. How could undercover agents hidden within Qianlong be so concealed? Each of them is proficient in the path of concealment. Their actions are flawless, but under the subdivine skill, all your secrets are laid bare. This is too terrifying. This is not interrogation, this is divine magic. Lin Ziasu slowly turned around, his face slightly pale, strolling over and walked past Jing Lei. Jing Lei quietly watched him. But Lin Ziasu did not look at him. Lin Ziasu was looking at the trembling body of the 9 strategy department. I just decided to come visit Miao Yan, barely arrived, and you came immediately right after. How timely, how clear your objective, but Liu Yi, you're seeking your own destruction. Lin Ziasu raised his hand, pointing a finger at his brow. Strangely, Liu Yi's trembling stopped. His eyes were filled with confusion. Speak, who is your superior? Kai Qin of the 2nd Strategy Department. The whole place was shocked. The decision-making department counts 18 department heads. Status above even the 18 Heavenly Kings. They have 2nd-level authority, while the Heavenly King possesses level 3 authority. The difference of 1 level represents an immense difference in status. Even among those of the same authority level, the actual power is worlds apart. The 9 Strategy Department is just one department, but the 2nd Strategy Department is terrifying. He is one of the 7-member group. What is the 7-member group? Qianlong's highest decision-makers, a total of 7 people. The Chief Long, the main and deputy flag masters red flag, the decision-making department's Great Strategy Department, 2nd Strategy Department, plus 2 unknown hidden elders whose names and specific duties are undisclosed. The 2nd Strategy Department is one of the 7 heads of Qianlong. Jing Lei, the voice of the Chief Long, called out. Here, Jing Lei spoke. Apprehend them. Yes. With a swish, Jing Lei broke through the window. Chang Yi, you interrogate. Lin Ziasu's form rose, following Jing Lei through the hole, leaping up, lightly touching down on the branch just treaded by Jing Lei, ricocheting into the air, almost mirroring Jing Lei's trajectory, lunging towards the building. Chang Yi was slightly shocked. Me interrogate. I don't have your secret technique. Will people speak for me if I question them? Attempting to open his mouth. Liu Yi, in the Hidden Dragon team, who are your people? Zhang Yan Wang Hong Li Li, He Jingzhang Zhou Saifeng Du Heijin. Zhang Yan, which is Miao Yan's name. Miao Yan had just spoken 8 names. Now from Liu Yi's mouth, 4 more were added aside from Zhang Yan himself. 3 others were included. With the mention of names, red flag took action, indicating immediate capture. Chang Yi was stunned. Lin Ziasu has already flown away, yet Liu Yi still truthfully speaks. Is there a delay effect in the secret technique? Taking advantage of this moment when the effect of the secret technique hasn't worn off, quickly delve deeper. Blue Demon's gaze drifted across the long sky where 2 figures slid, her heart undulating layer by layer. The Chief Long instructed Jing Lei to apprehend the 2nd Strategy Department, and Lin Ziasu dropped the half-finished interrogation, hastily following up, why? She had an uneasy premonition that this junior brother seemed to distrust Jing Lei. Chapter 447. Chapter 447 Chain, for you to never give up extra chapter for monthly votes. Today, Jing Lei indeed emerged to stop her. For a moment, it seemed Jing Lei and Blue Demon were on opposing sides. However, this doesn't really mean anything. Jing Lei stopped her from attacking the 9 strategy department. This could be considered well-intentioned because it is discipline. A heavenly king with level 3 authority attacking a second-level strategy department is a severe violation if taken to the extreme. As the leader of the heavenly kings, preventing such violations is only right. Yet Lin Zaiasu seemed particularly unimpressed with Jing Lei. When she arrived, she didn't even glance at Jing Lei, and when Jing Lei went out to apprehend a person, she followed too. What does this signify? Distrust in Jing Lei. When Jing Lei showcased an astonishing movement technique, she also displayed one, and in terms of speed and stride, she was absolutely not inferior to Jing Lei. Is this a challenge? She is aware of this, and the people's understanding below is even more complex. Jing Lei, someone shouted in the training ground. Jing Lei is in front, but who's the heavenly king behind? Someone called out, competing with Jing Lei in movement technique. This movement technique, surprisingly, doesn't seem inferior to Jing Lei's, which heavenly king broke through and could keep up with Jing Lei's pace. It's not a heavenly king. A young man in blue appeared out of thin air on a wall of a cabin, who can match Jing Lei. In a building, Jing Lei stepped into an office on the 7th floor. An old man behind the desk lifted his gaze, somewhat surprised. Jing Lei, what's the matter? By Chief Long's order to capture you, Jing Lei advanced step by step. Why is this? The old man was utterly surprised. Because... Swoosh! A shard of glass whizzed past Jing Lei's ear, shooting toward the old man's forehead. This strike Dekongxuan. A soft sound was heard as the glass shard pierced through the forehead, and the wall behind the old man exploded with a bang. Jing Lei's eyes opened wide. This old man is not a real person, but a holographic projection. Only this holographic technology is of such advanced quality, even among Qianlong, it's top tier, and he momentarily hadn't noticed. The person behind, Lin Zaiasu. He walked through the holographic projection, standing at the edge of the broken wall. Below, a flying car shot into the sky, breaking through the air. This flying car had a silver-colored front. A silver-colored front is a Qianlong flying car designated with special orders, leaving the headquarters without hindrance. He's planning to escape, Lin Zaiasu said. Will you stop him or should I? Jing Lei suddenly propelled forward, shooting into the void. The flying car accelerated, rushing forward. Jing Lei's right hand suddenly extended. Boom! The flying car deformed directly under his palm. Whoosh! His right hand swept into the car, grabbing someone inside with a flick of his toe. He leaped 10 meters outward, landing beside Lin Zaiasu. The flying car plummeted, crashing with a loud explosion. The person Jing Lei held was precisely Kai Qin from the 2nd Strategy Department. His eyes were wide open in disbelief. Lin Zaiasu smiled faintly. King Jing Lei, impressive skills, I commend you. Detective Lin has even more remarkable skills, I praise you. Jing Lei revealed a rarely seen smile. Lin Zaiasu extended his finger, pointing it at Kai Qin's forehead. Whoosh! A blue shadow flickered. Blue Demon arrived. From the outskirts, a group of people came in. Their clothes red flag had arrived. Everyone was silent, fearing to interrupt Lin Zaiasu's magic. Lin Zaiasu began the interrogation, a very straightforward one. Kai Qin, in the Hidden Dragon team, who are your people? Kai Qin's eyes were blank, beginning to confess. Among the Hidden Dragon team, those he knew or had developed into traitors amounted to 17 people. Those confessed by Miao Yan, the 9 strategy department were all included, and 5 additional people were revealed. Next, you can conduct the interrogation. Lin Zaiasu pulled back his finger, his face alarmingly pale. Blue Demon extended a hand. Lin Zaiasu's steps were unsteady. How is it? Blue Demon said. A bit tired. I'll take you to rest. All right. Lin Zaiasu closed his eyes, letting Blue Demon carry him. Red Flag took over the interrogation. Just like with Liu Yi from the 9 strategy department earlier, the 2nd strategy department spoke with no exceptions, pouring out everything like beans from a bamboo tube. Those exposed were seized immediately. Once captured, interrogation began promptly. Like unearthing 1 carrot pulling out mud, in one swift move, Qianlong witnessed an upheaval. In half a day's time, there were a staggering 23 traitors. Behind Qianlong, inside a mountain cave. From the outside, it appeared to be just an ordinary cave, but within, there was a whole different world. The highest leader of the Qianlong, Chief Long, received a special guest in the office. Chang Yi. The door closed, Chang Yi slowly lifted his gaze. Foster father. Chief Long smiled. Chang Yi, you've always had a dream, hoping to carve your name onto the hidden dragon pillar. Now you're qualified. Qualified? Chang Yi's smile blossomed. Completely qualified. For sealing Kun Kang, you were one of the heroes. Traveling to the Middle East to complete an SSS-level mission, you led. For Hidden Dragon's counter-espionage, you initiated as well as executed. This not only qualifies for the Hidden Dragon pillar but even holds hope for this year's Hidden Dragon medal. Foster father, is it possible to exchange all my achievements for one thing? Chang Yi said. What? Exchange me one sentence. What sentence? Chang Yi slowly raised his gaze. I want you to tell me this sentence. No matter when, no matter where, no matter the situation, you will never give up on him. The calmness on Chief Long's face, the smile on his face, suddenly vanished completely. He gently sighed. Why bring up such a topic at this time? Because it's already August now. Chief Long slowly closed his eyes, his hair gently trembling in the wind. Others might not know the mystery of this time, but he certainly understands. August, early autumn. She, this flower that drifted through the world, will also wither at the junction of autumn and winter. Her time is running short. Her life has already entered the countdown. She is very clear about her situation. She has always hoped that during her lifetime, her name would be engraved on the Hidden Dragon pillar. She never even dared to dream of the Hidden Dragon medal. If it were last year when she learned she had a chance to receive the Hidden Dragon medal, a chance to rest under the cover of the G flag, she would have sighed that this life was not in vain. However, this year, she is giving up all honors just for one sentence. She wants the Chief Long to give her a promise that no matter when, no matter where, no matter what the situation, he will never give up on the man she cares about. Chief Long's hand slowly opened. Chang Yi gently embraced him. This is the only personal request you have made to me, Chief Long said. In emotion and sense I should agree to you, but I cannot agree. Why? Chang Yi raised her gaze. Because this shouldn't be your personal request, this is the iron rule of Qianlong, Chief Long said. According to Qianlong's iron rule, for those who benefit the country and the people, Qianlong never gives up. Qianlong will not give up on him, not because you are you, but because he is him. Chang Yi's smile blossomed again. I'm returning to 101, that task over there, leave it to me. All right. This package, you brought it to wrap me when I was seriously ill back then. Keep it as a memento. Chang Yi reached out a hand and handed a package to Chief Long. Tears blurred Chief Long's eyes. Chang Yi walked away step by step, her footsteps gradually fading away. Chief Long's trembling hand slowly opened the package. Inside was a small bag. Pulling it open revealed 38 vials of potion. Along with a line of writing, 4 characters handwritten by Chang Yi, longevity. A smiley face was outlined with colored pens beneath it. Drip. A tear dropped onto the smiley face. Chief Long's heart filled with desolation. Every year on your birthday, you would send me 1 vial of life potion that you personally concocted, from 50 years old to 62 years old. You've sent them 13 times already. From me reaching 100 years old, there are 38 birthdays left. You sent them all at once. I'm already 62 years old, yet you still consider the remaining 38 years for me. And you are only 26. Lin Zaiyasu slept an unknown amount of time. Heaven can attest, he was truly exhausted. The sub-divine skill, he is only level 22, far below the standard of divine control skill in reality. Forcefully performing it is incredibly damaging to him. His secondary deity was completely swept away, his fatigue unprecedented. This is also the reason his interrogations became simpler and simpler. Initially, during the interrogation of Zhang Yan Miao Yan, he could still manage it skillfully, but after the interrogation, he was nearly collapsing. Interrogating Liu Yi of the 9 strategy department was him forcing himself. He could only ask about his superior. But the final interrogation of the 2nd strategy department was seriously overloading. He even risked the collapse of his brain by forcefully interrogating. Fortunately, this divine control skill is very miraculous. It infiltrates the secondary deity into the opponent's consciousness, causing them to become muddled, and thus achieving the goal then others can also take over to continue pushing the interrogation forward. Originally unable to perform the divine control skill even once, he rushed to carry it out 3 times, simply because this was something truly not to be delayed. Miao Yan's downfall would alert everyone connected to him. If they didn't strike while the iron was hot and captured them all, they would all flee. For instance, the second strategy department's biggest tiger, if Lin Ziaosu hadn't forcefully interrogated Liu Yi, this guy would surely have escaped and would likely succeed. Lin Ziaosu forcefully performed it 3 times. Broke, but an unexpected variable appeared. The secondary deity Dian flowed back. Quickly returned to level 22. Complete recovery still isn't the end. Next, level 23, level 24. Lin Ziaosu awoke, sensed the unprecedented clarity in his brain, sensed the brand new chapter of the secondary deity. For a moment the whole person was stunned. What happened? The secondary deity completely emptied, overloading. Could it actually break before establishing anew? Upon careful sensing, he understood that it was the effect of the sub-divine realm. Zhang Yan's secondary deity entered the secret realm space, intercepted by the secret realm space, and converted into his own sub-god skill. Zhang Yan's sub-god skill was extraordinary, reaching level 28. The colossal level 28 was devoured by his level 22 little Kalami. If little Kalami could swallow it, surely it would grow into a fatty. Understanding this, Lin Ziaosu's whole body shook with a racing heartbeat. My god, the sub-divine realm can actually devour others, sub-god power. Even if his sub-god skill is far inferior to others attacking him would mean sending him food. This is a cheat, and it's an irremediable cheat. In the world, they only say the Lost Lotus can unlock the heavenly human lock, but no one said opening it would reveal such a wonder. Lost it. At this moment, there seems to be a very humorous interpretation. This is about leaving others no path to take. Chapter 448. Chapter 448, another trump card on the way. Lin Ziaosu's eyes suddenly opened. He immediately saw a rare and enchanting view of the human world. He was lying in a room. The room was exquisitely decorated. Outside the window, tender willows gently swayed. Outside the window, a delicate fragrance wafted in. A voice came from the left, awake. Lin Ziaosu sat up with a start and saw Blue Demon. There was a faint blush on Blue Demon's face, and her eyes were filled with endless excitement. How long did I sleep? Lin Ziaosu asked. A day and a night, to be precise 18 hours, Blue Demon said. How's your recovery? Theoretically, I'm fully recovered, Lin Ziaosu smiled. How's the situation? Speaking of the battle results, it's exceptionally satisfying. Blue Demon smiled sweetly. I'll first bring you some food, and after you eat, I'll tell you about this exciting event. The meal was brought in, the dishes served, and Lin Ziaosu, truly hungry, cleared everything in no time. A beautiful robot came in, cleaned up the dishes, and left. Blue Demon personally brought a cup of tea and handed it to him. The exciting battle results fully revealed. Qianlong's operation to root out traitors was a great success. The 18 strategy department captured 2 individuals. The level was astonishing and unprecedented. The highest level of leadership being so high also meant that everyone in their line was extraordinary. The total number had reached 26. Although a super institution with 100,000 members having 26 traitors might not seem like many, in an organization like Qianlong, it was truly shocking. Qianlong's high-level officials held a meeting for an entire day. All departments broke out in a cold sweat. No wonder that in recent years, Qianlong had suffered such great losses. The traitors were right by their side. This operation to root out traitors, to use a dramatic phrase, is indeed a world-shattering achievement, Blue Demon said. There are still many tasks to do next, like investigation, reflection, exoneration, accountability. But let's set those aside for now. Chang Yi has returned to 101, and she asked me to pass on a message to you. Chang Yi had already left. Lin Ziaosu asked, what? Divine control skill, unless necessary, do not use. Lin Ziaosu quietly watched her. Blue Demon said, this secret technique that makes people speak the truth is a nuclear weapon-level existence in the interrogation field. But you must understand 2 points. Firstly, Zhang Yan, Liu Yi, and Kai Qin suffered severe brain nerve damage. They are already ruined. Ruined? Lin Ziaosu's heart gave a slight jump. Yes, practically equivalent to idiots. This is the direct result of the divine control skill. It can be said to be the most severe side effect. Lin Zaiyasu nodded slightly. Blue Demon's words had both correct and incorrect parts. The correct part was, under the current circumstances, what she said was correct. Those subjected to Lin Zaiasu's divine control skill were turning into idiots. But the incorrect part was, this wasn't the side effect of the divine control skill itself. It was due to Lin Zaiasu's lack of sub-god skill mastery. Why? It's related to the basic theory of the divine control skill. Divine control skill, consciousness infiltration and substitution. It is essentially a process of breaking down and then establishing anew. The breaking down involves shattering the opponent's original cognition, making them lose autonomous thinking, and only mechanically retrieving stored information from their brain when asked. Establishing anew involves implanting new cognition. Advanced divine control skill can make anyone accept any directive, and those under its effect are not idiots. But Lin Zaiasu's sub-god skill mastery was lacking. He could only break but not establish anew. Thus, the person ends up mentally confused and lost. Lin Zaiyasu naturally wouldn't correct that. Secondly, this is an even more taboo topic. Blue Demon stared into his eyes. I hope you listen carefully and reflect deeply. Go on. When the water is too clear, there are no fish. When a person is too wise, they have no followers. The 12 words were left unexplained. Lin Zaiyasu naturally understood. When the water is too clear, there will be no fish. When a person is too astute, there are no companions. The secret technique is more than just being too astute. It can strip everyone bare to their heels. No one in the world is truly so pure that they have nothing they cannot share with others. Everyone has secrets not meant for outsiders. When you open your mouth and expose everyone's secrets completely, who could still associate with you? This advice should not be Qianlong personnel's advice. It should only be a friend's advice. And this would only be brought up privately. Lin Zaiyasu smiled lightly. Did Chang Yi really entrust you with those words for me? All right, I'll admit it, it's my personal advice, Blue Demon said. I pretended it was Chang Yi speaking, hoping you'd take it more seriously. You, Lin Zaiyasu leaned his head back slightly. In fact, you ignored a third point. What? Regarding this secret technique, I've interrogated only 3 people and ended up lying there for a whole day and night. Don't laugh, my back is still sweaty even now. I felt like I nearly broke myself using it. Next time, if Qianlong wants me to use this damn method for interrogation again, they'll have to prepare 5 million in cash and also buy me disability insurance. Blue Demon shot him a sideways glance and laughed. This matter is temporarily closed. Let's talk about something else. You start. Blue Demon's gaze slowly lifted. Yesterday you finally met Jing Lei. What did you feel? The question was light, but also felt very heavy. Lin Zaiasu's expression didn't change at all. Fierce. Just one word, fierce. Blue Demon slightly frowned. Yeah, one slap can wreck a specially designed flying car. Truly an unbelievable fierceness. Qianlong's top heavenly king indeed lives up to his reputation. Do you really admire him? Of course. Actually, I think he admires you a lot too. Lin Zaiyasu laughed, with a somewhat smug look. Blue Demon chuckled lightly. Combining your performance yesterday, I suspect the events in the Middle East may actually be related to you. Couldn't resist probing, huh? Lin Zaiyasu smiled. Ask away, I'm ready to spill the beans today. All right then, were the actions of the Mengu army and the Divine Temple all orchestrated by you? What do you mean orchestrated? Was it just orchestrating? I executed the plan single-handedly. Lin Zaiyasu said, after taking Wang Zhang's out of the Mengu army, that was the starting point of my plan. He truly laid everything out in detail. The abduction of Wang Zhang's, faking traces of Li Tian clan members' actions, provoking Mengu's accountability for Li Tian clan members, killing the Mengu negotiation team, disguising as Mengu's second-in-command Tor, infiltrating the military camp to assassinate General Ji Pio, launching a missile barrage, sneaking into the Divine Temple during the Earthfall Beast Army's deployment, and killing Elder Dai. Blue Demon's heart raced. All suspicions were confirmed in full. This explained why in the chaos of the Middle East such a turbulent wave appeared. Now it's confirmed it wasn't a whirlwind from nowhere, but a master manipulator stirring the storm. Step by step, link by link, so exquisitely executed. Blue Demon took a deep breath. You had intentions to disrupt the Middle East from the very beginning, because early on in your actions, you introduced the concept of Sangmu Temple to Changyi and Xinyu. Yes. Why did you have to strike at the Divine Temple? Was it merely to support domestic operations against Utopia? No, Lin Zaiasu said. I wanted to force Utopia to reveal its true cards. Force them to reveal their cards. I must admit, what you forced out is indeed astonishing. Blue Demon exhaled slowly. Now here's a soul-searching question. Is the card you forced out their real trump card? Lin Zaiasu gently shook his head. No, there's another trump card probably on the way. Blue Demon's face changed. Lin Zaiasu said, do you know why I'm willing to spill the beans today? Because you have more actions to take next and you need me to do things, Blue Demon said. You don't know me, senior sister. What do you want me to do? The trump card I forced out is a lotus called Moon Lotus, Lin Zaiasu said. When I left the bridge realm, the lotus hadn't yet set off. Next, I need you to keep an eye on it. Watch for any unusual activity in the direction of the Divine Temple. This matter is of utmost importance. Blue Demon said, the day before yesterday, there was already a strange event from the Divine Temple's direction. What? Lin Zaiasu was startled. 5 people emerged from underground. The Flying Eagle army tried to intercept, but found themselves caught in an illusion realm. Missiles fired hit their own people, and so did their guns and artillery. Lin Zaiasu said, the entire army was caught in an illusion realm. Yes. At the time, how large was the army's occupied area? About 30 square kilometers. Lin Zaiasu took a deep breath, and then, the illusion realm dissipated. The soldiers spotted the target, opened fire with everything, killed an old man, and the other 4 escaped. This old man was from the Li Tian clan. What? Lin Zaiasu was shocked. In the end, the Flying Eagle army won. Yes, maybe their illusion technique has a time limit. Once it expired, what could 5 people do against an army of 8,000? Blue Demon said. Lin Zaiasu gently shook his head. Something's not right, very wrong. Only Moon Lotus could create an illusion realm over an area of 30 square kilometers. If it were truly Moon Lotus, it wouldn't have failed. Is there any way to dig deeper for more details? Our insider within the Flying Eagle army only knows this much, Blue Demon said. Maybe we could try digging at the Divine Temple side. Good, you make arrangements, Lin Zaiasu said. If nothing can be uncovered from the Divine Temple side, I might have to go again myself. Blue Demon's heart skipped a beat. You're taking this matter more seriously than ever. Because the seriousness of this matter is also unprecedented, Lin Zaiasu said. Never underestimate this lotus. What could a lotus do? The nation-building plan of the Li Tian clan revolves around this lotus. Blue Demon stared at him for a long time, raised a hand, and issued an order. This order was sent overseas. Arrangements had already been made overseas. Blue Demon slowly lowered her hand, a smile reappearing on her face. Sometimes, the more tense and intense the game, the more necessary it is to relax appropriately. Shall we go for a walk? Just a walk. Yes, without a walk, a man and a woman cooped up in a room all the time won't accomplish anything, right? After all, I'm not your Changyi. Blue Demon smiled lightly, stood up, and opened the door. Chapter 449. Chapter 449. Level 3 Authority. Colorful Heaven King. Lin Zaiasu also left the room and saw the scenery outside. Outside, there was the river flowing through the pit. On both sides of the river, there were rows of wooden houses. And the place where he had just lain was one of the wooden houses. Looking back on the platform, he could see a disc on the left side of the wooden house, white background with blue characters, with the word blue written on it. Is this your Heavenly King residence? Lin Zaiasu asked. Yes. I actually slept in your boudoir. What's all this about boudoirs? I never intended to marry anyway, so don't talk to me about reputations or anything like that. It has nothing to do with me. The conversation was starting to get a little ambiguous. Lin Zaiasu changed the subject. I can roughly guess you plan to visit another Heavenly King. You're quite the guesser, Blue Demon laughed. So who are you hoping for? To avoid you overthinking it, I can only hope for the Blood Trace King. Blue Demon blinked. The Blood Trace King is on a mission, not at headquarters. Expect someone else. So the Blood Trace King wasn't at headquarters. No wonder. He's been here for 2 days, and there was no sign of him. Turns out he hasn't returned yet. So who to expect? Blue Demon provided the answer. Speaking of which, Miao Yin still has a classical temperament, but I wonder if she has any psychological barriers with the ancient tradition of repaying life-saving grace with one's own body. Lin Zaiasu looked at her with a toothache-like expression. Life-saving grace, isn't that a bit much? Fine gratitude for saving one's reputation, Blue Demon said. Come on, let's visit, watch her blush, make her repay the favor. Her figure flashed, leaping over several wooden houses, stopping in front of one. This was an elegantly styled wooden house, resembling a piano. The wooden house had no sign, but its design was a sign in itself. This was the piano platform, the residence of Miao Yin Heavenly King. However, there was a table on the platform, a piano on the table, but no one was there. Miao Yin Heavenly King was also absent. Blue Demon's eyes slightly rolled. I roughly know where she went. Originally the suspicion on her had not been lifted. She couldn't go there, but now that it's lifted, she went there. Where? The Mechanical Bureau, the place studying the wing blade, Blue Demon said. Hey, want to see how far the wing blade research has progressed? Lin Zaiasu's interest spiked. But he furrowed his brow. That should be the core area of Qianlong headquarters. Of course it is. Then the question is, can I go? After all, he was an external person. Entering the headquarters was a special recruitment by the Chief Long. The task was just to find out the cause of Wang Zhang's death. Now that the case is solved, theoretically, he shouldn't be involved in any other field. If Qianlong is polite, they might let him stay for a few days in the guest room. If they're strict, they should send him on his way right now. In any case, he couldn't possibly be allowed into the core research center. Blue Demon chuckled lightly. Take out your dragon eye, check your privileges. Lin Zaiasu extended his hand, bringing up the dragon eye, placing it on his nose bridge. His heart gave a sudden jump. On the dragon eye, a large number, 3. The corresponding privileges were explained in detail. In the Qianlong headquarters, except for 3 top-secret places, the rest are accessible freely. You already have level 3 authority, the same as mine, and it's not temporary. Congratulations, junior brother. If you have feelings for the words Heavenly King, please allow me to call you Colorful Heaven King. Blue Demon's eyes curved into a crescent moon. Heavenly King or Colorful Heaven King, Lin Zaiasu stared at her. Blue Demon blinked. This title was inspired by Xinyu. Didn't she call you Little C? Everyone thought it was quite reasonable. After all, your greatest skill is observing and discerning people. Lin Zaiasu rubbed his forehead, nearly speechless. Let's go, Colorful Heaven King. Let's head to the Mechanical Bureau. Admire the full bloom of Miao Yin Heavenly King breaking free from her bonds. This, of course, was Blue Demon letting her mind soar. No one knew why. Blue Demon was happier than anyone about this authorization. Because this meant one thing, the Chief Long valued him exceptionally. Qianlong truly trusted him. For a long time, Qianlong always kept a veil between them, relying on his abilities, yet lacking trust. But now the trust was fully unleashed. No more barriers between both sides. Blue Demon was very happy. The Mechanical Bureau was on the other side of the mountain. Why so far away? Because what is researched here, none of it is ordinary. If an experiment failed, the house could be blown up. It's not a joke. Hence, the Mechanical Bureau had to be separated from the regular office area. In case of accidents, at least the staff here would have a chance to survive. As they spoke, they crossed the ridge, and Lin Zaiasu also saw the full view of the Mechanical Bureau. The ground part had an office area and workshops. The underground part was where the essence lay. Blue Demon took the lead, and when she reached the door, she stopped and made way for Lin Zaiasu. Lin Zaiasu smiled slightly and stepped forward. A beam of light shot from a small hole in front, covering his face and focusing on his dragon eye. Then, a large number 3 appeared on the door. The door opened. This was for his verification. Upon verification, his authority was validated. Stepping into the factory area, in front was an office building with a circular structure and an ultra-modern design. In front of the office building, a beautiful woman turned her head. With one look, she spotted Lin Zaiasu. Lin Zaiasu smiled at her. This person was none other than Miao Yin Heavenly King. She indeed came to the Mechanical Bureau. Only because she was the decryption leader of the Wing Blade project. Blue Demon brought the Wing Blade back from outside, requiring the Heavenly King's team for decryption. Originally, it was normal for Blue Demon to be tasked with forming the team, But at the time, she was burdened with the major life soul gu case, so she transferred the team formation right to Miao Yin. Miao Yin had earnestly conducted the formation, and it had already shown initial results. However, because of earlier interrogations regarding Wang Zhang's, she was embroiled in controversy and found it inconvenient to visit this crucial research site. After a few months and finally clearing herself of suspicion, she came over at the first chance. Before she had a chance to enter the building, she saw Blue Demon and Lin Ziaosu. Even though Miao Yin was usually the calmest, her heart was surging at this moment, and she stepped in front of Lin Ziaosu. I wanted to visit you yesterday, but you were too exhausted and fell asleep. Are you better now? I'm fine now, Lin Ziaosu replied. This time both publicly and privately I must thank you. Really, Miao Yin said softly. Lin Ziaosu smiled. I understand your meaning, but it's unnecessary. You've done nothing wrong yourself and don't need to bear anything. The pure are pure, the turbid are turbid. It's easy to say, but not always easy to do, Miao Yin said. You've come over to check the decryption status of the wing blade too. Yes. Come on, let's take a look together. Miao Yin Heavenly King naturally knew that Lin Ziaosu had obtained level 3 authority and was taking them to the research project leader. This leader was personally selected by her, with the surname Zhu and given name Ban. His name was quite strange. People said he was just like his name, very rigid. In the mortal world, rigid is not a good term, because it clashes with human relations and often leads to setbacks in society. But undeniably in the research field, rigidity is sometimes truly necessary. Rigidity and rigor can be synonymous on certain levels. The long corridor was very quiet. The office areas on both sides were very quiet. The clattering sound of data entry and the buzzing of electricity formed a unique environment characteristic of a research office. However, when Miao Yin Heavenly King opened the door ahead, all three were startled. Inside there was the sound of arguing. Arguing? Damn! Someone in this world could actually argue with Zhu Ban. This person's voice was quite loud and rather wild. I tell you, old man, do you really have to be so rigid? I've already said that the wing blade from a physical standpoint has 3 forms. Just approve it and let them conduct an experiment. Can it be done without people dying? 3 forms. Blue Demon and Miao Yin's eyes lit up. Lin Ziaosu's eyes shone even brighter. He stared in surprise at the back of this young man gesturing wildly. Yes, he was very surprised. Behind the desk, Zhu Ban slowly looked up, pushed up his glasses with his finger and spoke leisurely. The probability of deaths in the trial is less than 10%, but not approved. Damn, the young man said. Do you even understand what developing a new form of the wing blade means? It means its combat power will increase by geometric multiples. Firstly, I reiterate that it's not approved. Secondly, a verbal commendation for your innovative spirit. And thirdly, you're not allowed to swear. The young man's chest heaved violently. I can't communicate with you. I'm finding your leader. Suddenly, he turned around. At that turn, he saw Miao Yin Heavenly King and Blue Demon at a glance, however. The shock brought by the two beauties paled in comparison to the third person. The third person, of course, was Lin Ziaosu. When he saw Lin Ziaosu, his mouth opened wide. The anger in his heart, which was originally sky-high, seemed to dissipate entirely at that moment because he saw someone he could never have expected. Lin Ziaosu smiled. Brother Dong. Who was Brother Dong? Ding Dong. Ding Zhongli's son, Ding Ryushui's brother. The legendary playboy of the Ding family. Brother, Ding Dong took a few quick strides to his side. How come you're here? The way you came is the way I came too, Lin Ziaosu replied. Damn, press ganging, you guys ended up grabbing an entire family, going to extremes, even capturing my brother-in-law. Ding Dong sighed deeply. Old Stone Board Zhu Ban was still desperately adjusting his glasses there, unable to make sense of the situation at all for a while. The people who came, 2 great heavenly kings, plus a young guy he didn't know. This young man entering a research-heavy place was already unheard of, and to top it off, he turned out to be Ding Dong's brother-in-law, which was even stranger. Miao Yin Heavenly King turned to Zhu Ban. Old Zhu, I just heard a part of it. This young man makes some valid points. If the wing blade can indeed be developed into second and third forms, it's worth a try. Ding Dong immediately brightened up. His eyes fell on Miao Yin Heavenly King. This person seemed to make a lot of sense. Was she the leader? Zhu Ban sighed. I certainly know it's worth trying, but there's only one energy source. Once we try, the energy source is gone, and all subsequent research has to stop. I've explained this to this kid, yet he's stubborn. Ding Dong immediately went back into argumentative mode. What are you keeping the energy source for? If not for a major breakthrough in research, are you planning to hold on to it to eat? The major breakthrough is in sight, yet you're being stingy with this energy source. Isn't that neglecting the essentials while chasing the trivial? Chapter 450. Chapter 450. The Three Forms of Wing Blade. Miao Yin Heavenly King was stunned. Blue Demon also frowned. They felt that each of these two people's statement had its own merits. Zhu Ban focused on the entire project. There was only one energy source, and the transformation into the wing blade form consumed a huge amount of energy. Once the energy source was exhausted, all subsequent projects would come to a halt. Meanwhile, Ding Dong focused on the breakthrough itself. Isn't the thing you're currently pursuing a breakthrough? Breakthrough is key. Brother Dong want to find a place to sit, Lin Ziasu spoke up. Ding Dong dropped a line. Old Gubin, I'll first go sit with my brother and then I'll come back. I won't let you off without determining a winner or loser. The two left. Zhu Ban looked conflicted. That bastard, if it weren't for the fact that he indeed had some new ideas, I'd fire him and not have the surname Zhu. Office zone, reception room. With the door closed, Ding Dong grabbed Lin Ziasu. Bro, I really didn't expect you to come here. I didn't expect to bump into you here either, Lin Ziasu replied. Are you here to showcase your talents? Although showcasing my talents is something I like, their mysterious ways aren't really my thing, especially that Zhu. I really... Forget it, hey bro, where exactly are we? You do know. How would I know? That chick with white hair shoved me into a flying car, airtight all around, and wouldn't tell me anything no matter how much I asked. I found myself here. If she hadn't mentioned the word Qianlong, I would have thought these guys were some illegal maniacs. Ding Dong spoke with excitement. I can't even imagine how worried my mom would be. The appearance is decent, Lin Ziasu said. She just filed a minor police report, only issued 100 million reward. Holy shit, 100 million reward. Ding Dong was dumbfounded. Why don't we put on a show ourselves and get that bounty? Lin Ziasu's eyes widened. Since my research is done, I can go back. I'll tell them, don't drop me off directly at Nanhu Villa, just find some random grassland and leave me there. Then, bro, you come find me, doesn't mom have a reward? The bounty goes into your account, we split it 20-80. You take 20, I take 80. Lin Ziasu gently shook his head. I am impressed. You siblings both seem to have their eyes on your mom's pocket, each better than the other at deception. If we were really that good at deceiving, would there be money in my mom's pocket? Ding Dong said. If you have to be impressed, then be impressed with my mom. Our mom. She's genuinely shrewd. After all, in these past 10 years, my success rate in deceiving her is only 37.2%. Lin Ziasu was at a loss for words. His gaze shifted slightly. You finished your research. Yeah, I mainly handled the physics section. It's done. I can leave now. Are you willing to leave? Are you willing to leave? Look at your question. I have 7 or 8 mistresses in Jiangcheng waiting for me to comfort them, yet I'm in Qianlong's secret base hugging a robot. Hugging data, and you ask if I'm willing to leave. Ding Dong was angry. If you were really willing, why did you argue with that old Gubin before leaving? Ding Dong slumped, slapping his forehead. This damn curiosity of mine. Okay, I'll confess, I really want to see the third form of this wing blade. This is the spirit of scientific research, surpassing the longing for mistresses. The form of an object doesn't necessarily require experiments. You can deduce it as well, Lin Ziasu said. Of course I know that. I've simulated it thousands of times on the computer and got more and more startled the more I looked, which is why I want to see this astonishing third form in real life. Take me to see it. Ding Dong was shocked. They said it's a rule people outside of Qianlong absolutely can't see it. Are you part of Qianlong? I'm different. I'm a targeted research personnel. I have level 6 permissions in this specific field. I have permissions too. Really? Really? Why don't you go and ask old Gubin what he says? Ding Dong actually ran to ask, entering Zhu Ban's office, knocking on the door. Old Gubin, I'm not here to argue with you this time, just want to ask something. My brother wants to see my research data, is that okay? Zhu Ban rolled his eyes. Yes, you can. Ding Dong frowned. Old Gubin, do you have a serious condition? My legitimate requests in the past were never approved by you, yet today this request even I feel is excessive and you approve it. Scram. Haha, Ding Dong laughed aloud. I've always felt our arguments weren't at all enjoyable from now on. Things should be more delightful. Everyone should let go and happily argue. He closed the door and bolted away. Entered Ding Dong's office. His office was completely different from Zhu Guban's. The biggest difference was that his office had a beautiful robot. And the beautiful robot was disheveled. Lin Ziasu was too embarrassed to explore with the heavenly Tao primordial spirit, but even with just his eyes, he could see there were water stains on the hem of the robot's clothing. He was very familiar with what this meant. If he was sitting in the office and Ruelen sat on his lap, as long as hands and feet were not very proper, it would only take 10 seconds to see such water stains form on the inner side of his thighs. This fraternity-in-law played quite wildly. Even in the office, he played like this. Pull up all wing blade data, Ding Dong ordered. As soon as the words fell, the room seemed to suddenly become spacious. Under the holographic projection, each component of the wing blade appeared in midair. Each component was labeled with dimensions and material composition. Lin Ziasu locked eyes on the target, his heart secretly startled. His mind had never been on mechanical manufacturing, however. His human Tao orchid heart was incredibly strong, with the ability to memorize and thoroughly understand various materials. In every aspect, he was an expert, including physics and chemistry, as well as mechanical manufacturing. The materials were the first thing he focused on. Those complex codes and molecular formulas, at a glance, did not match any of Earth's minerals. The wing blade, its entire body was not made of Earth's metals. However, all these components also carried metallic properties. First form, Brother Dong seemed to enter a certain state as well, highly excited. This might be the greatest characteristic of this playboy. As long as he enters a scientific research state, his interest in research instantly surpasses the beauties around him. With his command, various parts of the wing blade assembled, transforming into the original form of the wing blade Lin Ziasu had seen before. Humanoid structure, with wings on its back, battle state, flight state, with parameters on the side, a punch striking with a force of 63 newtons, flight speed of 30 Mach. Second form, the wing blade suddenly transformed into a disc. A peculiar force field appeared on it with various technical data. Lin Ziasu stared at the flawless transformation of the components into a new form, his heart racing. This is the second form of the wing blade. From the analysis of the force field data, it's a shield, Brother Dong said. Theoretically, it's very unique, but Zhu Guban hasn't tested it, so its final effect is difficult to substantially analyze. Lin Ziasu's eyes shone brightly. What is the third form? The third form is truly magical. I can hardly believe it, but as long as you have a deep understanding of these components, you'll know that they are actually prepared for the third form, Brother Dong said. Watch closely. The screen changed, and the wing blade abruptly transformed. From a disc, it became a sword. Unsheathed sword. The parameters above had a parenthesis indicating this was just a prediction. Lin Ziasu stared at these parameters, his heart pounding, speed of 300 Mach. Yes, according to the force field parameters, that's its theoretical speed. Brother Dong's face flushed. Can you imagine? What kind of power would such a sword have? I can imagine. Lin Ziasu closed his eyes, his heart raging with waves. Mach the speed of sound. The current fastest hypersonic missile has a terminal speed of 50 Mach. Already an incredible, virtually uncatchable speed. Yet this wing blade has a theoretical speed of 300 Mach. 6 times the speed of the current fastest missile. At such speed, not to mention the indestructible wing blade, even a fragile little bird could pierce through a fighter jet. With one strike, it's as if a heavenly sword descended from the sky. Modern buildings are effortlessly pierced through, regardless of the material. Even on an ancient cultivation battlefield, such speed can easily slay Enlightenment realm powers. He seemed to truly comprehend what wing blade really means for the first time in his life. Wing blade itself is the blade. The sharpness of the blade is where its true power lies. Nine-headed snake had not developed this form, yet just the first form granted the wing blade invincible attributes, but who could have thought this was merely the first-level form of the wing blade? Too terrifying. Brother Dong, you are a genius. Lin Ziasu slowly opened his eyes. Brother Dong's face was full of smugness. Who wouldn't know that? Can you really evolve these last two forms? Half of the smugness disappeared from Brother Dong's face. The second form, absolutely no problem, but the third. It's uncertain, requires experimentation, however. This is where the problem lies. Zhu banned that old stick in the mud. Don't concern yourself with him, Lin Ziasu interrupted. I can help you solve the energy source problem. Brother Dong's whole body jolted, springing up violently. From a corner of the room, a voice suddenly came. Can you really solve it? This voice came from a small green light, surprisingly Zhu Ban's voice, filled with excitement. Lin Ziasu lifted his gaze. All of you come over here. Within at most 10 seconds, 3 human figures simultaneously appeared at the doorway. Zhu Ban, Blue Demon, Miao Yin. They had been watching them all along. This was actually expected. In the research base, the project manager can view any office at 0 distance. Lin Ziasu slowly stood up. I've looked over the energy sources analysis composition, and I know the wing blade's energy operation method. There's something that will surprise you. This set of energy operation methods is an array. Chapter 451. Chapter 451. A clever move to break through the energy source. Array? Zhu Ban's eyebrows suddenly furrowed. You mean to say this energy source is actually an array stone? Yes, Lin Ziasu replied. Qianlong also has people researching arrays. They proposed the same idea as you, but after testing this energy source, they dismissed the idea because this energy source isn't an array stone. The entire field is also very different from common arrays, Miao Yin Heavenly King interjected. Lin Ziasu said, 2 words to answer, rare. Rare? The array is rare, and the array stone is rare too, Lin Ziasu said. This array stone combines the power of the 5 elements. It's not a single attribute, it's an all-attribute array stone. I've never seen an all-attribute array stone before either. Array stones have natural attributes. For instance, the most common elements are metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, which naturally complement and counteract each other. It's extremely difficult for them to appear on a single stone simultaneously. Therefore, the vast majority of array stones are of single attributes. Double attribute array stones, under the compression of the heavenly Tao power over billions of years, will ultimately also become single attribute. For example, fire can counter wood. An array stone with both fire and wood attributes over the long time span will destroy the wood attribute, ultimately leaving only the fire attribute. Only when the 5 elements gather, complementing and countering each other, reaching a dynamic balance, can they maintain the attribute of all 5 elements coexisting for a long time. In short, an array stone with 5 elements attributes is equivalent to a naturally made integrated circuit board. After this explanation, everyone was in a cloud and fog. Blue Demon spoke. You mean there's a way to replicate energy stones? Yes, Lin Ziasu said. If you can't find an all-attribute 5 elements array stone, you can use 5 different attribute array stones as a substitute. Theoretically, it can serve the same purpose. Old Zhu, Miao Yin Heavenly King said, are there any array stones in the materials library? There are some, but it's not certain we can gather all 5 attributes. No problem, Lin Ziasu said. I brought some with me, you all get ready, I'll go get them. He turned around and left. Blue Demon followed. In an instant the two left the mechanical bureau, went to the riverside and entered Blue Demon's cabin. Blue Demon was full of suspicion. Did you really bring array stones with you? How come I didn't know? Yesterday, she had brought him into her boudoir. His clothes were thin. His bag was light. Did it really contain array stones? However, when Lin Ziasu took out the small bag from under the bed and handed it to her, she was stunned. The bag was much heavier than when she carried it yesterday. Opening it, there were indeed many peculiar stones inside. Red, green, blue. I swear by my still existing virginity, yesterday your bag was definitely not this heavy. Blue Demon looked up, staring at him. Lin Ziasu slapped his forehead. Senior sister, only 2 people in this world know about my skills in hiding things. One is Chang Yi and the other is you. You wouldn't go around making this known to everyone, would you? Not wouldn't, but absolutely whoa, I promise. Blue Demon patted her chest. Let's go witness the spectacle. Lin Ziasu and Blue Demon walked back side by side. Lin Ziasu's skills at hiding things are known by more than just 2 people, but in fact, nobody truly knows. Even Chang Yi, even Blue Demon only knew the surface. Chang Yi didn't know where he hid the landmost stone at the time, and Blue Demon doesn't know where his array stones are hidden today. In fact, the array stones are hidden in his secret realm space. And it's definitely more than just this small half-bag. The number of array stones he hid would shock people. There are tens of thousands. Where did they come from? Speaking of which is a taboo, they came from the Abyssal. He altered the array setting in the Abyssal, trapping and killing over 100 array masters in one go. How could he not have gained anything? Most of the array stones that those array masters collected from the bridge realm by races were put into the inner layer space, and now they have become Lin Xiaosu's trophies. Outsiders wouldn't know. The bridge realm wouldn't know. The actual sabotaging not only cut off the bridge's realm's inheritance in array, but also carried out a massive plunder of the very foundation of arrays, array crystal pillars. His hand made a scoop in the air under the bed, and from the secret realm space, he retrieved 5 array crystal pillars, one for each of the 5 elements, making them a gift for Qianlong. The two returned to the mechanical bureau. Entered a special space. This is the experiment zone. The wing blade was here, still in the same state as when Blue Demon brought it back, its first form. Lin Xiaosu asked, "Is everything ready?" Miao Yin Heavenly King said, "Rest assured, the wing blade's control system has been decrypted and is now under Qianlong's control." Speaking of control systems, that's the work of another person in Qianlong. This person is the only Heavenly King renowned for technology among the 18 kings of Qianlong, Brain King. Brain King, as soon as he got the wing blade, took just 3 days and nights to crack the wing blade's control core, adjusted the program settings, and optimized them even beyond Nine-Headed Snake's original settings. "Brother, let's start." Ding Dong's eyes gleamed brightly. He was highly excited. Zhu Ban also spoke, "We can start." "All right." Lin Xiaosu walked towards the wing blade. Ding Dong put on a pair of gloves, very peculiar control gloves. The scene was frozen. The atmosphere was highly oppressive. Wing blade, a kind of divine artifact with great power over Qianlong coming from Nine-Headed Snake. If a certain substitute could truly be developed, or even creatively promote its transformation, then in this field of wing blade assault, Qianlong could actually implement suppression on Nine-Headed Snake. This is a historic moment. This is a contest between two superpowers. This is more about the national grand strategy. Lin Xiaosu stretched out his hand, inserting 5 array crystal pillars into the hole under the wing blade's rib. The wing blade's eyes suddenly lit up. In the arena, an unknown person let out a surprised him. Everyone's eyes shone brightly like autumn water. The most excited was Zhu Ban. This old, stubborn, and rigid man displayed a side never shown in his daily life. The array stone is effective. With a flick of Ding Dong's finger, the wing blade rose. A snap of his middle finger, and the wing blade soared into the sky. Suddenly, 4 fingers snapped simultaneously. The entire wing blade emitted a red glow, suddenly transforming. The sound was crisp and melodious, endless. In the next moment, the wing blade in the air turned into a disc. "Live ammunition shot," Zhu Ban commanded. A small missile pierced the air, aimed at the disc formed by the wing blade. An astonishing situation occurred. The disc whirled, emitting a strange energy field, and the missile suddenly halted from its high-speed launch, stopping 10 meters from the disc. "Detonate!" With a booming explosion, the missile detonated. A fierce shock wave enveloped the entire arena. However, only half felt this shock wave, creating a dividing line with the disc at the center. Behind the disc, everything remained unharmed. "Plasma protection," Miao Yin Heavenly King exclaimed. "It's not plasma protection, this is array protection," Lin Xiaosu said. "The wing blade's second form is array protection." Blue Demon was stunned. Is this the perfect combination of modern technology and ancient arrays? This sentence plunged Lin Xiaosu into deep thought. Modern technology, at its peak, indeed resembles other paths. The earthly Tao emphasizes bloodlines. However, modern technology can achieve genetic transformation, causing mutations in bloodlines. The heavenly Tao emphasizes cultivation. Yet the special abilities achievable by the heavenly Tao can seemingly be attained through modern technology as well. Some special lethal magic like Miao Yin Heavenly King's subsonic attacks can be produced by modern technology. Whether they are strong or not is another matter, but they can achieve them, that's fact. Technology is boundless. The power of technology has no end. Could this be the reason the heaven, earth, and human paths contested, and humans won in the end? Humans possess technological power. Humans ceaselessly develop technology. For instance, this wing blade, purportedly an achievement of ancient times, was that ancient era the era of the three paths contesting. If the wing blade were to unleash its third form, if this third form were exactly as Ding Dong predicted, then the wing blade would gain the means to compete with Enlightenment realm experts. Its destructive power is no less than Enlightenment realm experts. This is merely one wing blade. What if there were thousands? What if there were even more formidable black technology than the wing blade? Upon reflection, anything truly seems possible. He too entered a certain state, eagerly wanting to witness the third form. Ding Dong tested the second form for the fifth time, laser destruction. High-intensity lasers shot at the disc, the spectrum directly twisted, rendering the laser ineffective against it. With testing reaching this point, the second form had achieved perfect success. And the wing blade, depleting its energy source, reverted to its original shape, landing, its glowing dimming slowly. Recharge energy and proceed to the third form test. Zhu Ban's eyes reddened, excitement overwhelming. Lin Zaiasu replenished the array crystal pillar. Ding Dong concentrated intensely. His hand gestures were unusually complex, a sharp grip. The wing blade underwent transformation, a strange change. The wings folded, morphing into a sword shape. The head retracted, forming into a sword tip. Quickly, it matched the exact shape in the concept drawing, yet just as the wing blade fully activated, the wing blade plummeted from the sky. Damn, Ding Dong cursed, the controller burned out. Array energy surged like electricity, the array energy highly concentrated. The controller couldn't handle it, burned out. The third form revealed its shape, yet didn't demonstrate its power. The core issue lay not with the wing blade itself, but rather the controller. Young man, Zhu Ban revealed a rare smile. Though the third form did not succeed, your concept has been validated, and in the second form you've achieved complete success. Well done, truly excellent. Your bland approval is useless, Ding Dong exclaimed. I've always said this ancient technology, any modern supplements are ultimately not the right path. Zhu Ban's smile froze. This brat, isn't he getting a bit arrogant due to his achievements? Miao Yin Heavenly King frowned slightly. Ancient technology, modern supplements aren't the right path. This sentence stirred something within her. The whole wing blade's power relies on two aspects, one being the energy field, the other the control system. The problem with the energy field was initially the biggest challenge. Lin Zaiasu solved it, using the array crystal pillar. Though array crystal pillars are hard to find, with Qianlong's strength, acquiring some isn't impossible, at least 100 times easier than initially finding those all-attribute energy stones. But what about the control system? Chapter 452. Chapter 452 Puppetry Technique. The control system was initially without problems, as Nine-Headed Snake was controlling it that way. This ancient technology was augmented with a modern upgrade, making it handy to use. However, this upgrade is only applicable to the first and second forms. In the third form, this modern upgrade cannot withstand it. How to solve this problem? Blue Demon raised his gaze. The controller problem is within the domain of Brain King. Should we let him come over once? Miao Yin had not yet spoken. Ding Dong spoke first. No matter how capable he is, he will still follow the path of modern augmentation. What he can do, Nine-Headed Snake can do as well. There have been no rumors of Wing Blade's third form with Nine-Headed Snake, which is enough to prove that this path cannot support this great ideal. I think we need to completely change course. The speech resonated with everyone. Yes, it doesn't matter who speaks, as long as it makes sense. In theory, Ding Dong doesn't have much of a say, but what he said is indeed reasonable. Wing Blade, in the hands of Nine-Headed Snake, is most commonly seen in its first form. The second form has never been heard of, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist, because the second form also has an adaptability issue. No missile can keep up with Wing Blade, and globally there's barely a hot war needing Wing Blade's participation. It's very likely that the second form has already been developed by Nine-Headed Snake, but just hasn't been applied. But the third form is completely different. The third form is the ultimate attack. If Nine-Headed Snake had developed such a form, with their nature of dominance, how could they not use it to attack once or twice? Their lack of attack indicates they cannot develop the third form. Modern upgrade controllers cannot adapt to Wing Blade's third form. This is probably the answer. Continuing down this path, will it be effective in the end? Can Brain King, no matter how amazing, be stronger than the decades of effort by Nine-Headed Snake's technical team? Change course completely, Lin Zaiasu spoke. How do you propose to change? Ding Dong said, I want to see all the details of Wing Blade, including the control system. Decrypting Wing Blade is a process of deconstruction. Everyone has their own role and responsibility, and they can utilize the results of others. Besides Yuban, no one else knows all the details. Ding Dong is a genius in mechanics and a genius in physics, but what he knows is just the mechanics part. And the control center is Brain King's domain. At this moment, he opens his mouth to propose to cross fields. Zhu Ban frowned. The control system is not your specialty. But I can infer from related fields, Ding Dong said. Zhu Ban's gaze turned to Miao Yin. Miao Yin's gaze turned to Lin Zaiasu. Lin Zaiasu met her gaze and smiled softly. I don't think Brother Dong actually wants to see the codes in the control system. He wants to see the special structure of Wing Blade's control center, right? Yes, if you put the code in front of me, I wouldn't understand. Ding Dong quickly said. I want to see the original appearance of Wing Blade before the modern upgrade was added. This, I think there shouldn't be a problem, Miao Yin said. Show it to him. With her nod, Ding Dong was excited. Zhu Ban raised a hand, and a projection appeared. It was the internal structure of Wing Blade before the modern controller was added. Inside Wing Blade's brain, there were countless patterns. It was an extremely mysterious pattern. Ding Dong exclaimed, puppetry technique. Lin Zaiasu was greatly shocked. Ding Dong said, as I expected, the initial structure of Wing Blade is not controlled by technology at all. No wonder the technological control of it is so ambiguous. It's puppetry. It's entirely a puppet. You understand puppetry? Lin Zaiasu's gaze focused. I know a little too. Hey, Boss Zhu, give me a copy of this construction diagram. I will take it out to study in detail. Zhu Ban's face darkened. That's going too far. It's impossible to decrypt here. I must take it out. No way. Absolutely not. There's no room for negotiation. You're just a stubborn fool. Ding Dong was angry. Facing a real breakthrough, you pull this trick again. You old-fashioned stick-eye. I will find your superior. My superior is right behind you, but even if she speaks this time, it probably won't work. Ding Dong suddenly turned back, staring at Miao Yin Heavenly King behind him. Miao Yin Heavenly King gently shook her head. Ding Dong this time. It really won't work. Otherwise, you can stay here for a while, decrypt here. Whatever you need, just say the word. This was a responsible statement. If you want to decrypt the patterns and designs in front of you, you really don't need to take this top-secret data out. You just decrypt here. Whatever you need, just say the word. Ding Dong couldn't say anything more, hesitated for a long while. All right, I'll take a look first, take a look first. Blue Demon gently pulled Lin Zaiasu. Let us leave first. The two left Ding Dong's office, and Zhu Ban chased after them, rubbing his hands. Mr. Lin, there's something, not sure if we can negotiate. Speak, Lin Zaiasu stopped in his tracks. Array crystal pillars, do you have more? If you do, I think Qianlong can provide some funding to buy some. Blue Demon also stopped, her eyes bright. There's a bit more, Lin Zaiasu said. I'll bring them to King Lanshan one day. Thank you very much. Zhu Ban was overjoyed. Stepping out of the mechanical bureau, walking by the riverbank, the weeping willows on both sides lightly swayed, and the green water flowed south. Yes, this river flows south. A light breeze came, a faint floral fragrance. The surroundings were quiet, only the footsteps of beauty were light. Blue Demon stopped, pinching a tender willow branch, slowly turned back. Entering the headquarters, you managed to catch 26 infiltrators. Even at 10,000 yuan each, you deserve a prize of 260,000. Blue Demon said, moreover, for your great achievement in unlocking the energy source, making this wing blade truly practical, you definitely deserve a reward outside the 10,000 mark. 36,000 in 2 days. How do you feel? The only feeling is, Qianlong's money is really valuable. Lin Zaiasu rolled his eyes. Saying Qianlong's money is valuable actually means the infiltrators are not, and the great achievement of the energy source is also worthless. Blue Demon blinked. You came at the invitation of your family, Chang Yi. According to common practice in the secular world, helping your mother-in-law's family to plow the fields is free. Are you really going to talk about money? Lin Zaiasu raised his hand and rubbed his forehead. Blue Demon leaned closer. Speaking of mother-in-laws, you must also mention the chief father-in-law. Do you want to see him? See Chief Long? Lin Zaiasu pondered. Seeing Chief Long, there were topics to discuss. In the face of such a level of person, what kind of topic should be mentioned requires serious thinking, even for him. If you haven't made up your mind yet, I have a place you're sure to be interested in, Blue Demon said. Where? 33 Towers. 33 Towers, what kind of place is that? Blue Demon explained. 33 Towers is a test of combat skills. Inside are holographic projections, and with each tower layer advancement, the combat power increases exponentially. The first 10 layers, ordinary domain. Anyone at the headquarters can come in and mess around. Layers 11 to 20 are called gold medal domain. Theoretically, only official gold medalists have a chance to pass. Layers 21 to 30 are called heavenly pride domain. Only those ranked among the top 100 gold medalists can pass. Above the 30th layer, the heavenly king domain. At this point, 1 foot is basically stepping into the heavenly king level. Lin Zaiasu smiled and asked, currently, how many people have crossed the 30th layer? Latest data, 82 people. 82. That's quite a lot. Qianlong King has only 18 people, which means reaching the Heavenly King level but not being named Heavenly King is quite common, especially people from the Red Flag. Qianlong's real strength is far stronger than what can be seen. Blue Demon said, don't you want to be the 83rd? Become the 83rd, is there a prize? Blue Demon stared at him for a long time. No prize. Then forget it, Lin Zaiasu said, not going. Blue Demon was speechless too. I'm really impressed by you. Just tell me, what do you need money for? To marry a wife and give a betrothal gift. Your family's wife, more than 90%, doesn't want your betrothal gift at all. Darn. Now it was Lin Zaiasu's turn to be speechless. More than 90%, the denominator of 10 is not enough. It needs to reach the unit of 100 to make up the percentage of 90-something. Forget it, although the wife absolutely cannot reach the percentage, she said. He couldn't count clearly for a moment. He could only calmly announce the true answer. Even if it's not for the betrothal gift or for money, it's still not reasonable to just show off my skills for no reason. Skill is like underwear. It's necessary to have it, but not for others to see. I understand that, Blue Demon smiled sweetly. But don't you think, am I the person who wants you to take off your underwear and show it to people for no reason? Then what idea do you have? Blue Demon said, I think you should be particularly interested in the builder of this tower. Lin Zaiasu was slightly surprised. Who? A blind man. His name is Lu Yun. Lu Yun, Lin Zaiasu's heart suddenly jumped. Yes, he once lived in 101 for a while, left a book called Mountain and River Scripture, later came to the headquarters, lived for 3 years, designed and built this 33 towers, then left Qianlong and has been missing since. Chang Yi didn't tell you. Chang Yi only talked about the itinerary at 101, but didn't mention he entered the headquarters. Blue Demon gently nodded. She probably didn't know either. After all, Lu Yun's arrival at the headquarters was top secret. Lin Zaiasu's heart suddenly stirred. You say, the name of this tower is just called 33 Towers. Yes, he named it. Lin Zaiasu lifted his gaze, looking into the sky. 33. This number once appeared in Lu Yun's figure. On the first day of the Lunar New Year, snow sealed the mountain. On Tasshan, Lu Yun walked through wind and snow in large strides. Left 33 footprints. The spacing between each footprint was amazingly consistent. Lin Zaiasu measured with his eyes, 3 feet 3 inches. The thickness of snow under each foot was astonishingly the same, 3 inches 3 parts. He, possessing the human Tao orchid heart, under maintaining a highly interested outlook on Lu Yun's mysterious antics, precisely captured these 33. He never understood why there were so many 33. Now, after entering Qianlong headquarters, a tower designed by him, named 33 Towers. Where's the tower? Lin Zaiasu said. Interested now? Lin Zaiasu said, I want to see how much my true fighting power differs from the Qianlong King. If you really want to see the difference, my personal advice is not to step onto the 33rd floor. If you step on it, Long King might have to first ask themselves a question. What's the gap with you? This Lin De Jiao shit stick. Has anyone stepped onto the 33rd layer? Yes, only one person, Jing Lei. Chapter 453. Chapter 453, 33 Towers. Go. The 33 Towers. Lin Zaiasu quickly decided, and Blue Demon led him through a few alleys, arriving at a tower. The tower from the outside looked very ordinary. It's merely 4 floors. The height of each floor is extremely high, each one boasting 20 meters in height, and the area is also massive, thousands of square meters. Yet this type of building, with its unobtrusive exterior decoration, is quite ordinary. 4 floors represent 4 major levels. Each of the lower 3 floors has 10 variations. The 4th floor has 3 variations, Blue Demon explained to him. The actual building only has 4 floors. Why is it called the 33 Towers? Because the lower 3 floors each have 10 variations. Under the full spectrum projection, it transforms into 10 scenarios. If each scenario counts as 1 layer, 1 actual floor turns into 10 layers. Got it, I'm going in. Lin Zaiasu entered gracefully. Behind them, 2 Qianlong gold medals walked side by side. Catching sight of Lin Zaiasu disappearing into the 33 Towers from behind, both were taken aback. Who is he? A new brother, one of them said. He is Lin Zaiasu, the one who made a big splash yesterday. Is it him? Is he trying to climb the 33 Towers? The first one's expression slightly changed, showing excitement. Every new brother who enters undergoes tower testing. Although he's not part of Qianlong, I'm sure those upstairs aren't particularly excluding him. Not surprised. Not surprised. You haven't seen where the real excitement lies, the first person said. This Lin Zaiasu is full of surprises. Everyone says his real combat power might have already reached the Heavenly King realm. Already at the Heavenly King realm, could we be fortunate enough to witness the birth of a Heavenly King? This one too got excited. Blue Demon was about to activate the Dragon Eye when she suddenly turned back. A fragrance wafted from behind her as Miao Yin Heavenly King appeared, moving in closer. He's climbing the tower. One word answer. A blush flew over Miao Yin Heavenly King's cheek. Will he set foot in the Heavenly King realm? Others may doubt, but we should, Blue Demon said. The only suspense is whether he will join the 7 Heavenly Kings on the 32nd layer, or ascend to the 33rd layer alongside Jing Lei. Miao Yin Heavenly King's gaze slowly moved, landing in her eyes. Did you encourage him for this climb? Yes. Why must you push him to stand at the vortex? Blue Demon lightly exhaled. I'm not trying to push him to the vortex, but under the current situation, he's already standing there. The only thing we can do is to increase his stakes. Miao Yin gently laughed. Your intentions are quite thoughtful, sister. What sister? I'm the elder, call me sister. Blue Demon glared at her. Sister, okay? I'll call you sister. Miao Yin moved closer. Tell me, sister, how do you really see him? Do you plan to make him your brother-in-law or let me see him as my brother-in-law? Blue Demon stared at her for a long while, then turned her neck. He's climbing the tower, yet you still have the mind for romantic gossip. Watching. The 2 women activated the Dragon Eye to watch. At the riverside where they arrived, inside the wooden hut where Jing Lei was, a young man with blue hair descended from midair. Jing Lei, Lin Zaiasu is climbing the tower. Anyone daring to call Jing Lei by name, without adding Heavenly King afterward, must be king level. This young man with blue hair is the Heavenly King Zhu Feng. He has always seen Jing Lei as an idol, and they also have a good personal relationship. Jing Lei, busy checking data at the desk, was slightly surprised. His hand gently raised, tapping his temple. He activated his Dragon Eye. Within the Dragon Eye, the scenes inside the 33 Towers appeared. Lin Zaiasu arrived at the entrance, facing the choice of weapon. There were guns, knives, swords. Lin Zaiasu's fingertips slid across the screen and clicked. Random self-selection. Heavenly King Zhu Feng grinned. This kid, very confident indeed. What does random self-selection mean? It means that after entering the full spectrum projection mode, whatever is inside, he randomly chooses them. If there's a tree, he can break a branch. If there's grass, he can take some grass. If there's a stone, he can choose a stone. His opponent's weapon, as long as he can snatch it. Under the full spectrum projection, everything is highly realistic. As long as the system determines you successfully snatch the opponent's weapon in the real state, in the spectrum state, you've actually snatched their weapon. Though theoretically in the full spectrum projection, you have many choices. Everyone ultimately has their own familiar weapon, so generally, when people enter the 33 towers, they choose the weapon they are familiar with. Perhaps only those at the Heavenly King level are exceptions. They are always self-selecting. Lin Xiaosu's first choice in appearance is identical to the Heavenly King's. Enter. The scene inside the tower shifts. A forest appears. Lin Xiaosu extended his hand. A leaf was in his hand, swoosh. The leaf pierced the air. Behind the trees, a sniper's throat was pierced through. Flying flower-picking leaves, Heavenly King Zhu Feng's eyes lit up. No, it's Da Kongxuan, Jing Lei corrected. The scene shifts, a desert appears. From under the sand, two figures simultaneously leaped up. Lin Xiaosu raised his foot. Two stones fell into his palm, swoosh. The two figures emerging from the sand, before the yellow sand on them settled, were already hit. The scene changed a third time. So quick, Heavenly King Zhu Feng was shocked. The third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. Until the 10th time. Lin Xiaosu almost didn't move from his spot. With a stretch of his hand, he grabbed leaves, picked up stones, or collected sand. No matter what it was, when Da Kongxuan was unleashed, it annihilated everything. Beep! The green light turned on. Time, 9 minutes and 17 seconds. The first level, breaking through the 10 checkpoints, took 9 minutes and 17 seconds. Miao Yin Heavenly King exhaled gently. 9 minutes and 17 seconds, a new record. Yes, back then Jing Lei first broke into the 10-minute circle, achieving a historical best of 9 minutes and 36 seconds, and today it's been surpassed by him. Blue Demon said, "This little rascal. It's still my fault, I should have reminded him." Don't worry about it, Jing Lei is not that petty, and moreover, his combat power now far exceeds what it was when he first went through the trial. Miao Yin Heavenly King said, he wouldn't be bothered. Maybe she was right. Jing Lei's face showed not a hint of anomaly at the moment. He laughed. Sure enough, strong enough. Not bad, very good. His smile was very hearty. The green light was on, representing the entire first level, or the first 10 levels being cleared. Lin Xiaosu ascended step by step to the second level. The second level gold medal zone. In Qianlong, only those with combat power above gold medal are capable of stepping into this field. Lin Xiaosu looked at the scene all around and was slightly startled. This didn't look like modern society. It seemed more like an ancient battlefield. A man came with great strides, raising a sword as he approached. He used a sword. The sword's stance had a certain profoundness. Lin Xiaosu's body slightly flashed, and this sword brushed past him. Suddenly, midway, he turned, thrusting a sword towards his back. This switch was beyond comprehension. Lin Xiaosu turned his head. His fingertips and the long sword crossed over. The long sword passed through his side, while his fingers pointed at the opponent's forehead. Barehanded against a long sword, 2 moves to kill. The scene shifted to an ancient city. A person leapt down from a tavern roof, incredibly fast. Lin Xiaosu reached out, grabbed the spearhead with a shake, disarmed the opponent, and the spear in Lin Xiaosu's hand abruptly rotated, piercing the opponent's forehead, then retracted and threw it back. Puffing. A man in black who had appeared at some point behind him was shot through the throat. He looked at him with disbelief, slowly turning into light spots and dissipating. The scene changed again. The opponents were getting increasingly skilled, advancing from peeping level all the way to the peak of peeping. Fortunately, the pace has finally slowed down. He's already exceeded the time it took you during your trial. Heavenly King Zhu Feng laughed. Jing Lei also smiled lightly. He doesn't want to clear it quickly. He's been observing the opponent's cultivation traits. Observing cultivation traits, is that necessary? Heavenly King Zhu Feng said, this is all computer simulated. With his access, he could even copy it back. What's the need for research? It's probably a detective's habit, thinking too complexly about everything, Jing Lei said. I must say, it's a rare good habit. You admire him a lot. Of course, I even look forward to the day we can fight side by side, Jing Lei said. Beep. The green light on the second level turned on, indicating all checkpoints were cleared. The timer board lit up, 18 minutes and 23 seconds. Miao Yin Heavenly King glanced at Blue Demon. This performance, a bit less than ours, why? Blue Demon's eyes flickered. Indeed a little puzzling. Logically speaking, the opponents on this level are mostly ancient martial cultivators. In terms of experience dealing with ancient martial cultivators, he should be stronger than us. Never mind, let's see the third level. This level, although he's 99% unlikely to fail, there's still a 1% chance of misstep. In the third level, the first attacker already had the power of the observing Earth realm. Such remarkable speed, such strong attack power, so exquisite moves, even a heavenly king must be on their highest alert. Lin Zaiasu indeed seemed to be very focused, very attentive. When the enemy appeared, he could always lock on immediately. When the enemy attacked, he could always dodge immediately. In a counterattack, he always struck at the enemy's flaw. Within 4 to 5 moves, a sudden strike the end. The scene shifted again. The opponents were getting stronger by the later stages, comparable to Blue Demon. Blue Demon unconsciously became tense. Miao Yin Heavenly King held her hand. Her breath almost stopped, capturing through the dragon eye the battle that seemed especially intense to her. She too didn't excel due to her combat power. Her true forte was in other arts, subsonic technique. Though subsonic technique can also be simulated in a holographic state, it's still somewhat different from a real battlefield environment. So, like Blue Demon, her best record is barely touching the Heavenly King realm. Level 30. Lin Zaiasu had already reached the 29th level. After a fierce battle, Lin Zaiasu pointed a finger towards the opponent's face. The opponent cut down with a knife. Suddenly, a leaf flew up from Lin Zaiasu's fingertip, shattering the opponent's forehead first. Beep! The green light turned on. Among the 33 towers, a golden line scrolled by in sync. Outside the tower, countless people abruptly looked up, staring in astonishment at the position of the third level in the 33 towers, where a golden line writhed like a dragon, tumbling up and down. Heavenly King Realm, someone else has broken through to the Heavenly King Realm, someone shouted. With that shout, the entire Qianlong base was completely in an uproar.